Audio, cool beans. Let's ping the Discord and get it rolling. This would be a tier list today, and it's gonna be great. Because I think just hitting Master Ball relatively easily twice back to back, I might hit Champion. I'm debating if I want to do a Champion climb or not. To solidify my stances as the best Pokemon player in the world. But in all seriousness, I think I have enough expertise on Pokemon, and also like an understanding of this metagame to like make it through this. So we're gonna do that. Tier list, baby. Woo. And that's gonna be the Discord ping. Okay, I need that to stop freaking out. Here we go. All right. Everybody grab their frescas, because we're hopping into it. We're hopping into things. Okay, it's looking decent. All right, get out of here. No more curve music. Curve music's done. It's done for the time being, at least. Fish, fish. I agree. Also, we're popping the fresca real quick. Oh yeah. And I am going to click start recording. I don't imagine we'll be here that long. It might be an hour. We're going to find out. Because, like, I do need, like, an easy video to throw on the docket. Because, like, the Pikmin video is just taking a little longer than I thought it was going to take. Yeah. There we go. We're ranking every single Regulation MA Pokemon from Pokemon Champions. Or in Pokemon Champions, I don't know. Yeah, there's so much else to it. Some Pokemon will need a good bit of explanation, some won't. So, easy enough. Easy enough said. And the metagame's shifted a whole lot. It's been going crazy. But real quick, we got the top right. This will be reserved for like 3 to like 6 Pokemon, I think. Give or take, because there are just like a few Pokemon that are like above the rest. You know, they just cannot compare to everybody else because they're so far above. Run it. You should probably be running this Pokemon. It's good into the metagame. The metagame is revolving around a couple of these Pokemon that I'd say would also fall to run it, so you should run it. Very, very good. It's very, very good. Niche, it's good for a couple applications, you know. It might round out a team if you're looking to handle a few couple Pokemon specifically, or you just like really don't enjoy running into Sneasler so much. And you need to answer a Sneasler. Good luck, buddy. Yeah, it's not a very good Pokemon, but you could probably make it work if you worked hard enough on it. You might be able to get into like Master Ball with it, but I would not say Champion would be a good idea to run this guy. Yeah, it's not. Good luck, buddy. This is gonna be rough for you. And then we got Trash, which means you probably shouldn't be running this thing ever. Maybe a YouTuber could run something for like a cool little thought experiment, a cool little video idea. But let's be so for real. If you're like, oh hey, I want to run a Pokemon from the Trash tier because I really like it, you're just gonna struggle so hard. Like I think you could use any Pokemon in this current metagame. Like they're all pretty okay-ish. You know, even like the worst Pokemon in the game coming up, you could probably find a way to use it. It just won't be very, very good. you're just gonna struggle a little bit. Anyway, we're starting off with Venusaur. Venusaur is very, very good. It's very, very good. This guy puts in a lot of work. Chlorophyll is great. Sleep powder is great. It hits pretty hard for not having to or for having a simple investments. Typically speaking, running a Focus Sash, Chlorophyll, and then your max special attack, max speed with like 2 in HP. And for the most part, Venusaur just puts in a lot of work. And even if you don't want to run regular Venusaur, Mega Venusaur is almost just as good. I'd be so for real. There's less applications for Mega Venusaur, but it is very good in the current metagame. It can struggle with Mega Aerodactyl a little bit, but usually you'll have other Pokemon for that anyway, so you're not like, oh no, you're hurt against like one crazy bad Mega. Oh no. I mean, you're still fat, so you're probably gonna be living most moves from Aerodactyl anyway. So it just sucks getting chunked down. Yeah, unless Charizard starts running Air Slash, you don't check Charizard, but you can kind of safely switch into Charizard as Mega Venusaur, which is quite nice. All right, and then we got regular Charizard, which yeah, it's not very good. Like it's not trash. You know, Solar Power is nice, but there's no application where you'd be running a Solar Power Charizard. Which, by the way, really quick for peeps watching, stop having Solar Power as your base ability. Stop doing it. It's not good on Charizard, right? And the reason why for that, right? Because you're typically running either a Charizard X or a Charizard Y. That's simply why you're running Charizard in this meta. You know, cool beans, good for you. You want to run Charizard. But if you switch in, right, the sun's already out, you're going to get chipped down immediately, right? Because you're taking damage from the sun with Solar Power. And so I've seen people lose games off that. There was actually a time back in Season 1 where I was like, oh, Charizard. And it happened to have Solar Power, so I was like, okay, we'll just run Solar Power because then my Charizard happened to have Solar Power. And I swapped it in, and we were taking damage from the sun. I was like, oh, this is a bad idea. And I swapped back to Blaze immediately. It's like, just instantaneously. There are significantly better Pokemon than base Charizard. There's significantly worse Pokemon than base Charizard. Not to mention Rock Slide's everywhere. So yeah, you don't get enough value out of regular Charizard. Charizard X is probably about... Yeah, probably... Nah, I mean, because I can think of several applications for Mega Charizard X. You could run it on Sun and put in work with Tough Claws, Flare Blitz. You know, Dragon Dance's really good on it. You're base 100 speed still, if I'm not mistaken. So you're speed tying most of the time with every other Charizard Y. But like at the same time, you don't really care that much. You know, you maybe want to protect your teammate, but with a +1 Dragon Claw, you're I mean, I don't think you're one-shotting every Charizard. I don't think you're one-shotting every Charizard Y now because they run like some defense investment now. But you at least used to be able to one-shot Mega Charizard Y, and used to be able to put in Hello Work in Mega Charizard Y. Not so much now, but still. And also not to mention having the ability to just bully every dragon is also just quite nice. Then we got Charizard Y, which is arguably top 1, probably top 1 in the metagame at the moment. Dude, like auto-setting your sun and being able to hit so unbelievably hard is so good on... It's so good. You know, I'm getting a phone call, which I can't pick up because I'm in the middle of the thing. Get out of here. But dude, Charizard is so good as Megazard Y. Like, it is like... It defines the metagame. Straight up. It just does. Like, if you have nothing for Charizard Y, you auto-lose. Which you should have something for Charizard Y. But if you don't have something for Charizard Y, you straight up auto-lose. Like, it does not matter. You lose off the bat. Hold on. Is my Discord... Okay, we're good. Cool beans. I didn't know if there was, like, an important thing, because, like, a buddy of mine just called. I don't know if there's something important happening. I'll take that as a no. Alright, cool beans. Alright, base Blastoise. I don't think I'd call it trash. Oh, and also something else with Charizard, it enables a ton of Pokemon, so that's nice. Because that's really cool. Anyway, with base Blastoise, I don't think I'd call it trash, but significantly worse than base Charizard, I think. Because there's just, like, significantly better water types, because there's always opportunity cost running Pokemon. And if you, for some reason, don't want to run if you don't want to run Mega Blastoise, if you're running Regular Blastoise, it's like, oh, cool, you get Rain Dish. Yippee. Can't not wait to run Max Defense, Max Special Defense. Leftovers, Rain Dish on my Blastoise. I can't wait. Pelipper's good, so hey, you know, who knows? Oh man, yeah, it's like you get Fake Out, but basically anything that base Blastoise gets, Mega Blastoise gets. And so, speaking of Mega Blastoise, it's a very niche Pokemon. I think because it does pair it does face really good into, say, Zard Y when the sun's gone, obviously because it's a water type into a fire type, and also Mega Aerodactyl. So that's also quite good. And I believe you get Flash Cannon. You get Flash Cannon, right? We're about to find out. You get Flash Cannon, right? Sorry for the brightness. Yeah, I'm not crazy. You do get Flash Cannon. Yeah. And so since you get Flash Cannon, you can do some damage into Mega Floette. But typically speaking, you're running like Water Spout, Ice Beam, Shell Smash, and Protect. But sometimes people will drop Shell Smash for Fake Out, or they'll do like Dark Pulse. I've seen Dark Pulse a little bit. But for the most part, like, Mega Blastoise is basically mini Kyogre. That's basically the best way to put it. where you're just trying to be a relatively bulky water type. You're trying to spam water spout so you can do as much damage as possible, and that does a ton of damage. Like, you are wiping things off the planet with that water spout, especially with max HP. It's just in a very awkward speed tier, because I'm pretty sure it stays base 78 when it Mega Evolves. So it's just in a very awkward speed tier, right? 78? Yeah, 78. It's just a very awkward speed tier. Because, like, while it's not bad in Tailwind, you know, they're better Pokemon. It's not bad in Trick Room, but they're better Pokemon. It's just one of those things. Like, if it was, like, base, like, 90, then I think it would actually go much harder. But at the same time, you know, then you're foregoing some extra points, you know. And that's just how it be sometimes. Beedrill's trash, unfortunately. Because, actually, does it have Tailwind? Beedrill. Do you have Tailwind? No. I think you lost that. Didn't you used to get Tailwind? I could have sworn you used to get Tailwind. Maybe I'm crazy. I thought you used to get Tailwind. But also, base Beedrill is also bad. Like, the positives of Beedrill is that while it's not good into Glamora, you absorb the toxic spikes. And I think that's all I can think of. I mean, Mega Beedrill can, like, I think in the right circumstances, you can just one-shot most things. I don't want to say most things. You can one-shot a ton of things. You do a ton of damage. You have very high attack stat with adaptability as well, just, like, maxing out your damage. But, like, it's just kind of like why, you know? It's like you get bogged down by Fake Out, you know, which is really bad. So you have to always protect turn 1 or just not lead Mega Beedrill. It's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. There's better poison types that are absorbing toxic spikes. No, 100%. Right? I bring that up specifically because that's the only thing Beedrill can do. I mean, you get Bug Bite. And, like, every other Pokemon in the metagame is running a berry, so, like, that's not the worst thing in the world. But, like, if you could set your own Tailwind, it probably wouldn't be that bad. Like, you set it next to a Wide Guard user, set up your own Tailwind, then it probably wouldn't be as bad. But I think even then, it would be, like, one of, if not the worst Megas in the game. Unfortunately. I think Mega Beedrill's great in singles. Well, I don't know if it's good in the current state of singles for on champions, but I remember in Oraz, I would run it in UU, because I think it's the highest ever got was UU. Anyway, Pidgeot's also pretty bad. Same thing, Mega Pidgeot. Yeah, there's not really much to talk about with base Pidgeot. Oh, and also, I forgot to mention this. They're not going to be ordered in any particular way, right? Like, maybe for, like, very, very good and, like, the top and run it, like, we'll order some a little bit, but, like, niche and down, I'm probably not going to order them that much. So let's be so for real. Like, who cares if Beedrill's the top of trash or not? But Mega Pidgeot, you if you got another ability instead of No Guard, you probably would be pretty okay, because you're just going to run Mega Pidgeot in Rain, right? If you didn't have No Guard. But since you have No Guard, you get 100% accuracy, or not 100%, you avoid accuracy checks for Hurricane and Heat Wave, and I think that's it. I unironically think that's it. I think that's all the moves you would actually want to run as a Mega Pidgeot, but you get the same bonuses as if you're just running Dragonite in the Rain. So it's like, why bother? You know, it's like, you don't live moves, right? You don't do enough damage. You're not that fast. It's like, why even bother? Actually, let me double check Mega Pidgeot speed. Mega Beedrill's issue is that it was designed for low. I don't even think it was designed for low tier singles. I just think that with Mega Beedrill specifically, I don't think Mega Beedrill was necessarily designed for low tier singles. I think they said, what if we just min max a Pokemon to all hell, right? But the issue is that base Beedrill is already just really, really bad. You know, so the only way to fix this thing effectively would be to, like, give it, like, priority. Like, give it, like, a priority ability instead of adaptability. Cut its speed to 100. Throw the 40 into defense or something. Or forward the 45 into defense. You can still do a ton of damage. But you have, like, a priority moves. I think that's how it's how you fix it, but you're not going to be able to fix it. Anyway, back to Pidgeot. Which I got a video idea talking about how to fix every Pokemon in the game, but we'll get to that later. Anyway, Pidgeot. Wait, it's supposed to be Mega Pidgeot. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah, Mega Pidgeot. What moves do you get that benefit from the accuracy? Actually, what it's there we go. Yeah, Hurricane, Dual Wing Beat, but you're not running Dual Wing Beat. Oh, you're base 80. You're base 80. Oh boy. Dual Wing Beat. Heat Wave. You're not running Air Slash, you're running Hurricane, you're going to want to run Protect, right? Because, like, I don't know what the center set even is, right? Because who the hell's running Mega Pidgeot? Because like, bro, you're running this, and then like what? Everything else is like 100% accurate. Like, I guess hyper beam. Hyper beam. That's not okay. I guess. Fuck. Okay. Oh no, you don't get hyper voice either. So you got to run hyper beam. Is this the set? Is this the Pidgeot set? I haven't seen this thing. I've not seen this thing since the first released. Genuinely, like I saw it a couple times, in like Smoke on singles. I think back when it first released, but then I never saw it in VGC. Like, bro, like what does this guy even do? What does he even do? All right. Anyway, Arbok, which like low key, Arbok's not that bad. I'm not even gonna lie. Still not very good. You get intimidate. You do fully resist every attack or every stab attack from Sneasler, so that's pretty good. And that's really about it. I mean, similar Pokemon or a similar requirements were used for like other Pokemon, right? Like Ariados, right, is pretty good because it just like walls out Sneasler. But with Arbok, you gunk shot things, right? So I think you can one shot Mega Floette from full. I don't remember if that was the calc or not, but I want to say you can do that from full. I might fix that in post. I don't know, but Arbok's not that bad. Legitimately, this is actually a pretty okay metagame for it, but it's still not going to be that good because it's an Arbok. It's like, bro, stats just aren't very good. All right, and then we got Pikachu, which you get like Fake Out, Endeavor, and Volt Tackle. You know, with the Light Ball, you get like, what is it, effectively base 160 attack, I think is what it was. So I mean, like, it does something. You know, there's a place in the metagame for it as a thing that just nukes other things. You know, like if you Tailwind, go Pikachu Volt Tackle, you're one-shotting anything that has a flying type next to its stat, or next to its type. You're one-shotting like every flying type. You're one-shotting every... Actually, I don't know if you one-shot Corviknight, but you do one-shot like Charizard, basically no matter what. You one-shot Aerodactyl no matter what, which I guess isn't like too high of a bar because they're just not very bulky Pokemon. You are one-shotting a ton of things. And even if you aren't, you're doing so much damage that they might as well be one-shotted, especially if you could paralyze them, because doesn't Volt Tackle paralyze? Come on, Pikachu. 10% chance. That's not very high, but still, you could paralyze him. You could paralyze him. And Raichu is basically in the same boat, right? It basically is just slightly bulkier, you know? And there's more applications for Raichu, I think, overall. But both get Fake Out, so they're pretty solid. The Alolan Raichu is not very good. You have to set up your own terrain, unfortunately, to use Surge Surfer. Because there's no electrical surge, or what was it called? Whatever the ability is called to set up electric terrain. There's none of them exist. Like none of the Pokemon are in the game at the current. Like there's no Pincurchin, there's no Tapu Koko. So like unfortunately, you can't really do that. You have to set up your own terrain, which is not very good. But if it is up, you are very fast. You do extra damage with electric type moves, so it's not the worst thing in the world. But let's be so for real. Why would you even bother? You know, they're better psychic types, they're better electric types. Why bother? Clefairy's pretty decent. I think you throw it in the top of, like... It's either at the very bottom of very, very good, or it's, like, the top of niche, basically. Because Follow Me is still nice. If you need to protect, like, a King Gambit, you kind of have to gamble into the Sneasler, right? For whatever reason. But Sneasler usually would just be Dire Clawing you anyway. I mean, because, like, Follow Me is never going to be bad. Because even if you do get one shot and die, right, at least you get, like, a free turn to hit something. Or like, your free Pokemon does get a free turn to do something else. So, I mean, that's the worst thing in the world. And plus, you can build, like, really, really bulky. So you can live, like, a lot of moves. Now, it's Mega, on the other hand, not so much. I think you just throw on the bottom of niche. Low-key. Or just anywhere in niche, I guess. Because, like, Magic Bounce isn't bad. Because Follow Me, Magic Bounce, you can, in theory, you know, just stop, like, a ton of stuff. From like you can stop Taunt, you stop Encore, going into your other Pokemon. You know, because like Whimsicott really likes running Taunt and Encore. So I mean, like you can do something, right? you can do something with a Mega Clefable. I just haven't really seen it too much, you know. But I've only seen one of these guys. Well, I don't think that'd make Mega Clefable that much worse. I don't know. Maybe it's just like not explored as much. Well, what's Mega Clefable's like a special attack looking like? Let's see. 135. So I mean, it's not the worst in the world, right? Like, cause like what you get air slash. I mean, I guess that's something. Like, obviously you'd be running follow me, right? You get moonblast, don't you? Yeah, you're running moonblast. Cause like what else do you even run? What flying moves do you get, or is it just air slash? Effectively, it's just air slash. So I mean, like there's something you could probably do with this thing that isn't like super stupid. I mean, luring voice might actually not be that too crazy because there's a lot of Pokemon that want to increase their own stats. So low key, luring voice could be something. Oh, you got Encore. Yeah, you do something like this. You could run. Don't you get Roost, or is it just Moonlight? Yeah, I think it's just Moonlight. Or actually, don't you also get Recover? Not anymore. All right, cool. Oh wait, my the why is this not popping up? Oh, because I didn't minimize. Oh, okay, I know what I did. Yeah, I know I did wrong. Yeah, I was searching this thing up the whole time. That's funny. Yeah, I forgot to minimize this. That's okay. But yeah, like this thing just isn't that great. Um, Ninetales. I'm kind of just gonna throw in niche for the most part because the issue for Ninetales, right, is while it's pretty quick, it does a ton of damage in the sun, you know, because it gets drought. They're just like you're competing with Charizard, you know. You're also competing with Torkoal for whatever reason you don't want on Charizard, and Torkoal is just significantly better than Ninetales at the moment. And then Alola Ninetales, I'm probably gonna throw in very good. Actually, I'm throwing niche actually. Now I think about it, because like if you want to run snow, you're running Frostlass. You know, you're just gonna run Mega Frostlass. Because opportunity cost is a bit of a problem, but you could run them both on the same team, I suppose. If you don't want to run Aurora Veil on your own Frostlass, you can run Ninetales instead. But I don't really see a point, you know, because like you'd want to lead both, right? Then you Mega Evolve with Frostlass. Now you have like 2 less turns of snow. So like, why bother? Arcanine, at the moment, because like they're both versions of Arcanine are very good, but they haven't really done anything, you know, because like Intimidate is just like not as sought after of an ability at the moment, mostly because it's due to a Defiant King Gambit. But due to that, also there being less Defiant King Gambits, also competitive Milotics. They're both of them are dropping off a smidgen, especially Milotic as a whole. You see less Intimidate Pokemon, therefore King Gambit's starting to run Supreme Overlord. There we go. That's the ability. Since starting to run to Supreme Overlord, you know, Intimidate is also still not bad, but you can't like it's a difficult thing to risk, you know, on ladder specifically. An open team sheet, that's completely different. An open team sheet, that's not too bad, but on ladder, since like Defiant's still a great ability, you know, well, running Intimidation is kind of tough, you know. Unfortunately, I'd probably place them here. Yeah, I just haven't seen a whole lot of Arcanines, unfortunately. So Alakazam, base Alakazam isn't too bad, but like, good luck, buddy, man. It's just like you die to priority moves. You're so frail. Man, and taking the Focus Sash is actually kind of tough because there's a ton of Pokemon that are just so much better that one use the Focus Sash instead. And then Mega Alakazam is also just not great. Would I say it's trash? Probably not. I don't think it's trash. It's just not that good. Good luck, man. Like, um, if I tell a scary story, it like falls over and dies. You know, it's unfortunate. Machamp, it gets wide guard, doesn't it? Yeah, it gets wide guard. You know, you never miss dynamic punch if you have no guard. You get guts, right? So I mean, like, that's something you could do. You could like paralyze or burn or poison yourself, right? So I mean, that's something. But I don't think it's as bad as these guys. Like, I think if I see Machamp at the team, I'm like, huh, that's weird. But you can't sleep on Machamp because Machamp can, in theory, one shot something. Base Victor Bell is also a good luck buddy. Did this thing used to get Tailwind? I want to say this thing used to get Tailwind, but basically you're just worse Venusaur because you're basically Venusaur in every conceivable way. That's just significantly worse, which is unfortunate. And then Mega Victor Bell is really bad. It's just like don't run this thing. Don't run Mega Victor Bell. Just don't. The only way you can make Mega Victor Bell work is if you're like max HP. You're under Tailwind, and you're like trying to like one shot things while trying to get one shot yourself, you know? Because you can't damage yourself with anything, right? Any conceivable way. Like, so you can't have sand, right? Because then you're doing less damage once you get like knocked out because you have innards out, right? Uh, And you can't have Pokemon do less damage to you because then, like, say for instance, they're just chipping you down, right? Because you're living in close combat like every day of the week. Doesn't matter how you build it. It doesn't matter how the opponent's built either. Like, you're not getting one shot by close combat. So, like, if you're getting hit by any not very effective moves, you basically might as well be like, well, I guess my Mega Slot's just ruined. Because you don't do enough damage, right? You don't have enough utility to warrant a Mega Victory Bell. It just doesn't, it does nothing, you know? Like, you can't completely ignore it, but, like, I feel like you just rather run regular Victory Bell, you know? That's just me. That's just me. Then we got Slowbro. Both Slowbros are pretty niche for the most part. I say both, and I throw Mega Slowbro is also pretty niche. You get Body Press, so that's neat. You can get a ton of defense, which is something. But I remember people were like, "Oh my gosh, this thing's gonna be incredible," right? Because you're gonna have so much defense, and you get Body Press now. So you're gonna do so much damage with Body Press, and because your defense is so high, it's like, okay, man, chill out. It's not that serious. And I'd probably say the same thing for the Galarian Slowbro. Like, Quick Draw is kind of annoying, and you're able to, like, do a ton of damage to Floette. The big thing is being able to deal with Floette. That helps a whole lot. Or help deal with Floette, because, like, you're not one-shotting yet, unfortunately. If it's the Calm Mindset, you don't one-shot it. And if it's, like, maxed out Bulk, you definitely don't one-shot it. You come pretty close, though, but you just risk getting one-shot by Floette. Because Floette, man, just so much damage. I remember when I said specifically Gengar's like a top 3 Mega. I said that, and so did a bunch of other people in the community, and a bunch of people are like, "Oh, Mega Gengar is really really scary, right?" And it's good. Mega Gengar is good. But before we get to Mega Gengar, we're gonna go to regular Gengar. Regular Gengar is not that great. I'm gonna be so for real. It's not very good. I don't think it's trash. I don't think it's the word that you can run worse poison types. You run worse ghost types, I think, but it's just not that great. It's slower than Alakazam, and its bulk's not good enough in comparison to Alakazam to like live things, unless you're Focus Sash. Being able to remove moves is good, what's the ability called again? Curse Body. Like you get Curse Body, and that's your only ability, unfortunately. I mean, like that's neat. I've gotten kind of screwed over by Curse Body before, but like I don't think I've ever lost because of Curse Body. But yeah, don't run base Gengar. Mega Gengar, on the other hand, is very, very good. I'd probably put it probably there. I think I'd rather have a Venusaur on my team if I'm being so for real. But so Perish Trap is decent. It's fine, I suppose. But like, you don't run Perish Song on Gengar because you're just missing out on a slot, right? And if for whatever reason Perish Song isn't working out, you're just down one move for like the whole game, basically. So you're better off going like Disable or something, so you can like have Gengar not get one shot and die from things. Because Mega Gengar's defenses are not very good in comparison to like other Megas. But Mega Gengar can still put in work. It does a ton of damage. It's very very fast. But typically you're running like Shadow Ball, Sludge Bomb, Protect, Disabled. I think that's the set that you should run on this thing. But like, yeah, it's decent. Like, everyone's like, oh, it's gonna be a top 3 Mega, but it's fallen off substantially. It's probably it, but I'm trying to think just the rest of the metagame real quick. It might be like a top 5, but I'm probably wrong. Oh yeah, we were talking about Perish Trap just now. Yeah. But the issue with running Perish Trap specifically, right, is with Gengar. If Perish Trap is not a viable strategy in that situation, you're just down one move slot for no reason. You're just better off running Disable. Because if you're running Komodo, you just lose, right? If you're running Perish Trap Gengar, that you would run like say Perish Song on Politoed, right? And due to it being like a weather setting metagame, right? Politoed is basically a staple on Gengar teams. Like you have to run Politoed, and so usually running Perish Song on your supporting kind of extra bulky mon is not that crazy. But on your offensive mon, you'd rather have Disable. That's way like you can just be like, hey yo, you are not allowed to hit my Pokemon. No more damage, right? And like having a Pokemon just do that is just like good, even if the Pokemon's your offensive mon. Disable is just a very, very good move. Plus, you get Taunt. That's good, I guess. Like, but basically, like the number one set on this guy is the Perish Trap, but it's just not as good as the Disabled. Like you'd rather have other Pokemon use the Perish Song, right? To effectively like have more like not only longevity but also have more utility across your entire team. Because like with Politoed, which we'll talk Politoed later, but typically speaking, You're gonna be running that Paris song. All right, now Genghis Khan, base king, not that crazy, not bad, not bad. You get scrappy, that's pretty decent. Fake out, you do decent-ish damage, and in the metagame, it's fine. Yeah, I'd say niche is probably fine, and Mega King, probably there, probably there. Like, you can really bully the opponent, like there's a video of Genghis Khan double freezing a Mimikyu going viral on Twitter for like the third time this week, I think, and that's kind of funny. Having two chances to inflict status is just really funny because you are running Ice Punch on these things usually. Like usually it's like Fake Out. I've seen Double Edge, Ice Punch, Sucker Punch. She's usually a very good move on it. Sucker Punch is great on King's Con. It's always been good on King's Con. And obviously you can run Protect, but like Ice Punch is being more standard on it, because being able to deal with Garchomp is wonderful because Garchomp's running bulky, so you just run like max attack and just like slam into that thing. Because depending upon the Garchomp set, it can live the first Ice Punch, but it won't live the second one. Even though it's just like a quarter more damage, you're effectively +1. Like or not, you're not +1, but like it's still pretty good. Like you're like I'm pretty sure. I don't know if you necessarily one shot on max bulk, max HP, Garchomp. You probably get pretty close though, because it's times 4 effective. I don't remember like Garchomp's base stats off the top of my head. Regardless, Kangaskhan goes Sicko mode. Basically, like Mega Kangaskhan goes absolutely Sicko mode. But like if you see it and you're prepared for like most normal types, you're also prepared for Mega Kangaskhan. So that is something to keep into account because obviously normal types have vast amounts of coverage. So you're typically speaking, you're gonna be ready for if you're ready for normal type, then you're gonna be ready for Mega Kangaskhan. Base Starmie is not that great. I'll be so for real. Good luck, buddy. Or would I put it niche? Yeah, I'd throw it down here. Because with Mega Starmie, I'd throw Mega Starmie in niche. And the issue with Mega Starmie, I keep saying the issue with Pokemon, is you're competing as a physical, offensive water type, right? With two other Pokemon at the moment, right? Number one being Basculegion, right? Basculegion is absolutely crazy. People argue that Pokemon's absolutely broken. It's up there. It's really, really good. Like that's almost like a must-run Pokemon. It's that good. And then you have Palafin. And the difference between Palafin and Basculegion is pretty substantial. Like there is a reason to run Palafin over Basculegion. Now, would you do it? No. I mean, you get Ice Punch. That's cool. But let's be so for real. You're running Basculegion. If you run like an offensive water type, you're running Basculegion. And the difference between Palafin and Starmie is pretty big, as well. Because with Starmie, you have to run the Mega. And that's unfortunate. There's the skill swap set where you can skill swap. Is a huge power pure power. It doesn't matter. The same thing. Where you skill swap the ability onto another Pokemon and just use Starmie as a special attacker. Which is like, I mean, that's cool, I guess. But like, what happens if I just like hit you really, really hard and then you fall over and die? It's like, what are you gonna stop me? The answer is no, because not only did you lose your Mega, you're probably losing other Pokemon too. Because let's be so for real. What you're getting huge power to Bastiodon? Is Bastiodon in the game? I don't think Bastiodon's in the game. Tyrantrum's in the game though. You're getting huge power to Tyrantrum? Why bother? Like it's so goofy. Pinsir's pretty trash. Let's be so for real. I love Mega Pinsir, but I think Mega Pinsir's also pretty trash. Like it's a Rock Slide metagame. Cleavor is getting a lot more use now. Like it's so tough. It's so tough being Pinsir because like I think Mega Pinsir is great. I love this little guy. He's such a goofy dude, but he just doesn't do anything, man. Like he doesn't do enough damage. He's not particularly fast. Like you do get do you still get quick attack? You better still get quick attack on this thing. If you don't get quick attack, I'm very upset. Because like yeah, you still get quick attack. But you lost Double Edge, didn't you? Yeah, you lost Double Edge. So why even bother? Why even bother? Hold on, what normal type moves do you even get? You get Body Slam, which isn't bad, but let's be so for real. Facade also isn't bad. So like, your best move consistently is Body Slam. Which is very, very tough. Unless there's something here. Giga Impact, baby. You do get Thrash. Which, like, there are worse moves than Thrash, I suppose. But let's, come on, man. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing, man? Man, it's tough. So base Tauros, I don't think it's that bad, but I mean, I guess it's Intimidate Mon. You know, the combat breed's also probably about there. We got the Blaze breed and the Aqua breed. Both are probably about niche. I'd say so. There's Anger Point, there's Anger Point. There you go. Sets you can run with them, which yeah, you know, I mean, it's something. You know, you can do something with them. They both can intimidate. They both do pretty good damage. You know, their signature moves are decent. Raging Bull, I think is what they're called. They're fine. You know, nothing particularly great. But they're usable. You know, like if you had to run a Tauros for whatever reason, I'd probably go with the Blaze breed. But at the same time, the Aqua breed can also put in hella work, and I think they're about the same in terms of utility. All right, Gyarados, which Gyarados is very, very good. I'd say so. It's pretty good. You do a lot of damage. You're pretty bulky, and Thunder Wave and Taunt are just like a very, very good combination. And that's basically what Gyarados likes running. It likes being like somewhat supporty while still being able to do a ton of damage. L plus Intimidate is great. And then Mega Gyarados, I'd probably say is actually let's move Gyarados up here too. Probably about there. Mega Gyarados is pretty good. It puts in a lot of work, does a lot of damage. There's something else to it. You know, being able to hit Levitate Mons with Mold Breaker, Earthquake is very, very good. Because a lot of Pokemon, for some reason, no one's prepared to get hit by Earthquake as Levitate Mon. Like, Rotom is like, oh, I'm cool, I'm chilling. Then it gets hit by Earthquake from Gyarados. You're like, what the hell? What's going on? Why is my body hurting? You know, that's how it be. Ditto. I don't think Ditto's trash. Because I think you can run Ditto and, like, it not be stupid. You know? But once we get, like, restricteds, like, actual legendary Pokemon in the metagame, then it's gonna be... Ditto's gonna, like, rise from Good Luck Buddy to, like, probably even, like, a run it. Because whenever it comes to, like, the Mega legendaries, it's probably gonna go sicko mode crazy, you know? And on ladder, there's probably gonna be people running Mewtwo. And that thing's gonna be funny. It's gonna be really, really funny coming up. I'm ready for Ditto. Like, you could throw Ditto in trash and it would make sense. But I don't think Ditto belongs in trash. I think it's pretty decent. Pretty decent for what it is, I should say. You could run regular Limber Ditto, right? If you want to transform into your own guy on the left side of the field, for whatever reason, that's something you could do, but it's a bad idea because it's really bad. Because Ditto has base 48 stats across the board. You're getting one shot by everything. Don't do that. That's a bad idea. just run Imposter. Just copy the opponent. You know, if it's something very, very good, you know, be like, okay, I want to just grab that. Give me it. Oh yeah. Also, we got the evolutions. Let me scroll down a smidgen. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so let's be real, the evolutions are pretty not great. I don't know if I'd say they're all trash, but they're all pretty trash. At least these guys. Because you don't have orbs for the quick, you don't have like the Flame Orb or Toxic Orb for Quick Feet or Guts. Vaporeon, I mean, you get Water Absorb. I mean, I think Vaporeon's probably not bad. You get Muddy Water. You're pretty bulky, you know. You're not the worst thing in the world. So I mean, I guess I could probably see Vaporeon putting in more work than anything else. Compared to the other evolutions, they just don't do anything. They're here. They're around. They're cute little guys, I guess. Aerodactyl, which I think base Aerodactyl is very, very good. It's very, very good. I think it's like something you should consider running a good chunk of the time. Tailwind is great. The Wing Beat is great. Rock Slide is obviously Rock Slide. Wide Guard is great. And that's basically all you have to worry about. Everything else is like secondary. You could obviously opt for Protect if you need to. But you gotta be careful of Faint. Faint is seeing a come up at the moment. And then Mega Aerodactyl is definitely better than base Aerodactyl. I don't think it's better than Charizard. Because like both are pretty splashable at the moment. I think you can get away with running either one on your team or run both on your team, and it makes sense. You know, it's not the craziest thing in the world. Because, like, there are teams that run both. There are teams that run one. You know, because, like, they're both just really good Pokemon. And sometimes Aerodactyl doesn't care about its item, but Charizard does care about its item. But at the same time, Charizard Y is such a menace, you know? Like, Charizard Y is probably top one. I think we leave it like that. I think Mega Charizard Y is top one. Aerodactyl's either 2 or 3. I'll think about it coming up, but it's up here. It's at the top. Like Mega Aerodactyl puts in so much work. It just does. And that's why you have to have answers for Mega Aerodactyl. You got to be ready to answer Mega Arrow, which isn't that hard. I'll be so for real. It's not that hard. That's kind of part of the reason why it's so wild that's doing so well. It's because it's pretty easy to answer, but it still does so much damage. It's the fastest thing in the metagame. It's the fastest thing. Like, if not mistaken, actually, I'm gonna double check this. I'm pretty sure it's the fastest thing in the metagame. It speed ties with Alakazam when it's Mega. So non-Mega Pokemon, nothing competes, and with Mega Pokemon, it's just Alakazam, and no one's running Alakazam. And like, so you get like a substantially, obviously you get the substantial speed boost, you get a little bulkier, you do a ton more damage. Like Mega Arrow is just that guy. He really is just that guy. You don't want to mess with Mega Arrow, dog. He will steal your hoe. Snorlax is pretty decent. Pretty niche though. Like you can't throw Snorlax on a team and hope it works, you know. But it does damage. You know, self-destruct does a ton of damage too. You know, like if you want a Pokemon just come in and explode, that it's something. Not a lot to talk about. You know, it's Snorlax. Like there are times where Snorlax isn't that great, but there's never a time where Snorlax has been bad, if that makes sense. Like there have been times where Pokemon are substantially better than Snorlax, but I can't think of a time where Snorlax has been actually just bad. You know, Snorlax is a Pokemon that's aged relatively well. All right, so we got Dragonite. Dragonite's very, very good. I'd probably say about here, probably. And Mega Dragonite's probably about there. I'll put him right there. Mega Dragonite's pretty solid too, but I think just you get so much value out of like regular Dragonite over it. Now I'm thinking about it, I think we throw... Yeah, because like, I'll be so for real, I can think of more reasons to run these guys than Mega Dragonite. Now, Mega Dragonite can still be used, right? But you have to run on Rain, reasonably speaking. If you run on Sun, you forego Hurricane and Thunder. You gotta run Flamethrower or Fire Blast, which usually is gonna be Flamethrower. Because there was a tournament where you did run, it was Charizard and Dragonite on the same team. And you were opting for Flamethrower. And your item was the Dragonite. So, I mean, like, it's something. And Dragonite doesn't necessarily need an item to do well. It can just kind of do its thing. Like, Dragonite is a very good Pokemon, just in general. But, like, Mega Dragonite is probably as better as a secondary Mega. Meganium. So, base Meganium is fucking just not good. Base Meganium is really bad. Do not run base Meganium. You're weird if you run base Meganium. Mega Meganium, on the other hand, is actually pretty solid. Like, if I was ordering this, it'd probably be, like, top 3 in niche, if I'm being so for real. But, like, Mega Meganium puts in a lot of work. It was, at first you saw it on Rain teams, and it was like, it did pretty decent, right? Then you saw it on Sand teams. It also did very, very good. I saw it a little bit on Snow teams, but that wasn't that great, because you just get bullied by other Snow teams. But as far as Megas are concerned, Mega Meganium is in a very good spot. It does a ton of damage, it gets a ton of hits. They just need to give it growth. Like, I think if you give it growth, it would actually, like, skyrocket in usage. But no, the only Pokemon that gets growth, or the only Mega Pokemon, well, not the only Mega Pokemon, because I think Venusaur gets growth too, but the only Mega Pokemon that gets growth, I would use it more consistently, is, like, Camerupt, which is so weird. Why do you give Camerupt growth? It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Who cares? But, yeah, like, it's a good spot. You know, you get bullied by Gengar. So at the start of the metagame, it was a little tough. And it's also still tough now because you lose to Charizard and you lose to Aerodactyl. And it's tough when you lose your Mega Pokemon in one turn. You know, it's like, that's not something you like to have happen. I think if you run it bulky enough, you could probably get away with, like, running it into, like, Charizard Heat Wave, you know, because it's, like, spread damage, but you need to change the weather. Like, if you don't have the weather change, you kind of just, like, blow up. Both Typhlosions are probably also pretty niche. They both want to do the same thing, but the base Typhlosion is the same as, in terms of speed, is the same speed stat as Charizard. So you're not outspeeding it, you're speed tying it, so it's like, what's the point in doing that? And Hisuian Typhlosion is 95 speed instead. And you do a good deal more damage, though. Like, typically speaking, you're running Hisuian Typhlosion over base Typhlosion, like the, what is it, Jotonian Typhlosion. But, like, they're effectively just the same mon, you know, which is, like, fine, but At least with like Hisuian Typhlosion, you're like fake out immune. You run Hisuian Typhlosion on Sun teams when you don't want to run Charizard for some reason, or if your team can't run Charizard for whatever reason, which like usually you can. Let's be so for real. I guess in Trick Room modes it's decent, or no, typically on which actually this is kind of counterintuitive, right? Because it's not good in Trick Room, right? Because usually you're running Choice Scarf, but you run it with Pokemon that would be good in Trick Room, like Torkoal. So it's awkward. You could probably find a way to make it work with Ninetales, but Ninetales itself just like I mean, Torkoal just is so much more damage, does so much more moves. It's like why bother? Base for Alligator's not that great. I don't think it's trash. Sheer Force is nice, I suppose. Is it trash? I don't think it's trash. I think if I saw a Feraligatr that isn't going to be Mega, I probably. I mean, I'll be so free. I'll probably just like try to one shot it still. Anything about this? Is this thing trash? I don't think because you get Dragon Dance. Dragon Dance is nice. You do like damage. You know, you can do hella damage if you're in Tailwind. Feraligatr, or if your opponent's in Tailwind, Feraligatr is pretty scary. No, I'll leave in Good Luck Buddy because I think there's a dimension where you can make Feraligatr work. Then we got Mega Feraligatr. It's probably also niche. You know, there's a set where you run Facade, right? And you paralyze your Mega Feraligatr. That way you don't get burned in the future, but also Facade is doing double damage, right? And it's getting Dragon Eyes boosted. So you're basically like coming pretty close, if not completely one-shotting things that don't resist it. Like, this thing can put in work, but you're not going to because you're base 78 speed, if I'm mistaken. Let's double check. Yeah, base 78 speed. So you're not really doing anything with this guy, unfortunately. Because, like, why bother? It's an awkward speed tier, you know, it does decent in Tailwind, but you have to run max speed for it to be effective, and if you're in Trick Room, you're still getting, like, undersped by other Pokemon, so you're not moving first unless you're paralyzed, so you have to run the paralysis set, but Klefki is, like, the best Thunderwave user, but you don't get Trick Room on Klefki, so it's, like, kind of tough. Actually, let me double check that. Do you get I don't think you get Trick Room on Klefki. Oh, you do get Trick Room. Okay, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe that is worth it. Huh, maybe I'll look into that. But I don't know, man, because usually you're running better moves. I don't know. Maybe for that niche, it might not be too bad. Maybe I'm underselling Feraligatr. Ariados, pretty niche, pretty decent, pretty good. Yeah, it just walls out Sneasler. Rage Powder's good. You're not running Toxic Thread. Don't do it. It's a trap. And that's not really much else to it, you know. You just like you run Bug Bite for the berries, you know. It's like you just be doing damage. No, you're not really doing damage. you're eating the berries while doing tiniest little bit of chip. Yeah, I mean, not much else to talk about Ariados. Ariados is pretty niche. I don't remember the exact set, but it was but just walling out Caesar is just really funny. Also you get Shadow Sneak on this thing, so like if you need priority, Shadow Sneak's not the worst thing in the world. Ariados is trash. Let's be so for real. Mega, not Ariados, Ampharos. Ampharos is trash. Mega Ampharos ain't too bad, but still pretty bad. I think if you got like Draco Meteor, then you'd be so much better. Like if you got Draco Meteor, it'd be so much better, man. Just give it Draco Meteor, then actually would end up being so much better. Like you're running in Trick Room and you just start one-shotting things, but even then, I don't think you can completely one-shot most things. Now I think about it, doesn't matter. Like I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. Like you can't sleep on Mega Ampharos completely, but you can be snoozing a little bit. You know, you can't be taking a hard nap. You know, but you can be hitting the clock for an extra 5 minutes. I think you throw Young Azu into niche. Yeah, probably. It's not the super strong. Like it does damage. That's about it. The Belly Drum set isn't that great at the moment. Because Garchomps are starting to run Poison Jab. Or I say starting. They've been running Poison Jab for a minute. Because being able to poison is just good. So they're instead of like having a chance to flinch, like, hey yo, what if we just like what if we start just poisoning things? So thus Poison Jab has been coming around with fairy types actually just being very strong as well. Politoed, which we were talking about Politoed. Politoed's pretty niche, I think. Because like if you're running Politoed, you're typically running Politoed on obviously Drizzle, and you're running Muddy Water, which is nice. Muddy Water is very, very good, lowering accuracy and everything. And you're running Parasong along with Gengar. There's not much else to it. It's just very one note. It just does one thing. It's good at that one thing, but like, you get bullied by like all the strong Pokemon, unfortunately. Because you're not like, while you are pretty bulky, you aren't like living every move in the game. Which is unfortunate. Espeon is pretty trash, if I had to be so for real. And Umbreon is a bit better. Umbreon can at least do something. Like the evolutions at the moment are not that great. I think I need to decrease the size a smidge. Yeah, good enough, I think. I can scroll. Who cares? Alright, Slow King doesn't really do anything. Like, both Slow Kings don't really do anything. Like, they're Trick Room setters, I guess. I guess they're Trick Room setters. like, I mean, this guy gets chilling reception. You can set up Carbonable that way, which is nice, but Fortress also just doesn't do anything. It exists, and it's just really big and really fat. But, like, it doesn't, like, it gets bullied by Charizard. It even gets bullied by Arrow, low-key. Because Fortress doesn't do enough damage. Like, I think with Cursed Gyro Ball it can do crazy things. You still get Cursed Gyro Ball, right? Like, that was like a set. It wasn't a very good set, but it was a set. Let's see. So, obviously, you still get Gyro Ball. And I imagine you still get Curse. You do still get Curse. So, I mean, like, in Trick Room, you can be, like, a problem. Actually, do you get Body Press? You do? Okay. That's something, I suppose. But I don't really see a point in running this guy. Ice Spinner, that's kind of crazy. Like, you're not that bad, not the worst thing in the world. Like, there are worse steel types to run, but I don't know, man. I don't get the hype. I don't get the hype. Like, I think he's a cool little dude. Now I'm thinking about it, is he as bad as these guys down here? Because Overcoat's pretty decent. This thing does get Overcoat. Oh yeah, Overcoat on my Steelmon, yippee. Like, I just see the Sandstorm. I was like, I forgot about Sandstorm. But it's not too bad. Like, because you'd be surprised how often people just be like Sleep Powder and Pokemon that are immune to Sleep Powder. It's the funniest thing in the world. I'll throw in Good Luck Buddy. Why not? I've convinced myself a little bit. Let's see. Steelix probably also about here. Yeah, Good Luck Buddy. Probably Mega Steelix probably about there too. Like, if you're on Mega Steelix, the thing with Mega Steelix is that it's just worse than Mega Aggron in every conceivable way. And if you're running regular Steelix, it's just like worse than the other bulky Steel types. I mean, at least you have an immunity to electric moves, which is nice. But let's be so for real. Let's be so for real. Getting the neutrality to water moves is just tough, especially with Basket Legion running around. I don't think you get one shot by Sneasler, but if it's like, that's still so much damage. Like, Steelix is like, it's tough. Steelix is so cool, but he just doesn't do anything. I don't think he's trash, but like, there's probably a set out there that can put in some work. But I just can't think of one. Base Scizor is alright. I mean, bro's pretty niche. And Mega Scizor, is pretty alright at the moment. I think it's putting in a hell of work. I mean, usually when you're seeing Scizor on the ladder, it's gonna be Mega Scizor. But if it's not Mega Scizor, then Technician Base Scizor is still pretty strong. I guess it'll do a lot of damage. Look out for Scizor. Because both Scizor and Cleavor both can run Tailwind. So you'd be surprised how often people don't realize that. And you hit Tailwind, it's like, oh damn. I did not think this. I did not think this far ahead. Now, I'm getting outsped by a Scizor. But Bullet Punch is great on this thing, so is Bug Bite. Both moves are very, very good, because obviously Technician and being able to steal berries is quite nice. You also get Knockoff, which Knockoff is is pretty okay. Pretty good on the Scizor. But for the most part, you're running like Protect, Bullet Punch, Bug Bite. You could do Tailwind. You could do. Do you still get Roost? I'm sure you still get Roost. What's the other move there's another move. Why am I blanking on what moves you run? I mean, you could run Swords Dance. You could, if you want to be greedy. But you could also run next to Coaching Sneasler, so that's always something. Yeah, base Heracross is just bad. Let's be so for real. I think Heracross is a cool mon, but it's just in this metagame, right? Like the top two Pokemon, top two Pokemon, top two Pokemon. At least at the moment. And the Mega Heracross, like you can actually I shouldn't say you can. You do one shot both Charizard and Aerodactyl with Skill Link, Rock Blast. So that is something. Let me double check its speed. You lose speed. Yikes. You could follow me. You could wide guard, I suppose. Like there's something you can do to like not get bullied as a Heracross, but yeah, it's not that great. It's gonna be tough. Like I did get kind of bullied by Heracross like twice on the ladder, but I didn't lose the battles from I remember. Like the most recent one I know I won. I may have lost the first one, but I don't think I did. I don't think I did. Skarmory's really bad. I mean, I don't even know if I say it's really bad, but it's just why run it. And then with Mega Skarmory, it does a ton of damage. It is pretty fast. It's pretty decent into arrow. But like its ability is stalwart, so you don't get redirected, right? Which is good. That's a good ability, but right now the only redirectors are Pokemon you'd want to hit anyway. You know? It's like so you know, like maybe once they add more redirectors, like a Clefairy or something, you know, that just kind of sit there, then maybe that's gonna put in like Skarmory will put in more work and go up. I don't think it's ever gonna be like at the top of the metagame or anything, but I think it could be pretty decent. Like Steel Flying is a very good typing. You live a decent bit of moves. You have weak armor before you Mega Evolve, so you're able to boost your stats, and then you Mega and you go kind of crazy. So like, there's something you can do with Skarmory. You know, it's just like, but every time I've seen Skarmory, it just falls over. Like it just falls over, bro. It doesn't do anything. And even when it does do anything, it needs to be like what? It needs to be like substitute shenanigans. Like it just doesn't. It just don't do anything. Just do nothing. Base Houndoom's really bad. Mega Houndoom is good luck, buddy. Good luck. Yeah, like it's not the worst thing in the world, but like let's be so for real, man. I keep saying that. Like I'd rather basically run just about any other fire type than Houndoom. And Mega Houndoom is better. Like I think you run Mega Houndoom if you don't want it for some reason. If you don't want to get like prankstered by dark types, or not dark. If you don't want to get prankstered in general, right? Because since you're a dark type, you're immune to prankster moves, right? So think like Klefki using like Thunder Wave. Think like Encore from Whimsicott, stuff like that. But at the same time, you never see Klefki. You see Whimsicott, it's getting one-shotted by by Heat Wave from Charizard. Or Weather Ball, you know? Or Air Slash if you're feeling froggy. Actually, it might live Air Slash if you build it especially defensive, but you get the idea. It's just like you get bullied by Arrow. Like that doesn't matter a whole lot. You do kind of hit Basculegion really hard, which I think is something to note. Like if Basculegion becomes that much of a problem, right? Then that is, well, it is already a huge problem. But Basculegion's still doing hella damage even in the sun. So like, I don't know, man. Kind of tough. Kind of tough. Because like Solar Power is a decent ability, right? You know, you effectively have Life Orb in the form of an ability. But it's not. Houndoom just don't do much. It just don't do much, man. T-Tar is great. I'd probably say there, probably. Like Tyranitar is very good. I like even in the current metagame. Because like Sneasler is fucking everywhere, right? So you have to run Choppleberry, but then you miss out running Choppleberry on your King Gambit if you start running King Gambit. And that's a problem, because like those Pokemon, like you'd rather have Choppleberry on King Gambit, right? Because you're running Choppleberry or you're running Black Glasses. This is kind of tough. I mean, actually, I probably put T-Tar. Because it's deceptively bulky because of Sandstorm giving +1 special defense to rock types. Honestly, I think I do this. And Mega T-Tar, being able to choose when to turn sand on and off is just very good. I'd probably do this. Man, actually, I'm thinking, I think I gotta put him down. This might change a little bit. I might change the T-Tars a little bit, but like I think ultimately this is probably fine. Like I'm not upset throwing them here, but I don't. They're either bottom of run it or they're top of very, very good. But then again, I think we do that. I think that's probably more reasonable. Because like having the Mega for like another Pokemon makes more sense usually. I mean, T-Tar's still T-Tar is still good in and out of Mega form. You know, like it's Tyranitar. You know, he is that guy. But I think if you had to run Tyranitar, it's not the craziest thing in the world. I mean, there's like Choice Scarf Tyranitar sets as well, so it's not the craziest thing. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. I mean, because it is T-Tar, so maybe I'm just overthinking it. Pelipper, um, Pelipper, I'd say is better than T-Tar. Is it better than Arrow? Probably not. Probably not better than Arrow. Pelipper's really good. Drizzle. That's it. Drizzle, Wide Guard, obviously Weather Ball, Hurricane, Tailwind, you know, obviously gets Protect. Like, dude, Pelipper is just that guy. Dude, Pelipper is that Pelipper. Pelipper is just that guy. He just does whatever he wants. You can run Bulky. My favorite set is the Sash set, but even if you don't want to run Sash, you know, because you have your Sash something else, the Bulky set's still really, really good as well. Just the issue with the Bulky set is, typically speaking, you're just not going to be all that fast. So you like run into issues where it's like, oh, you get Rock Slided, now you're flinched. Yeah, now you don't get to run Tailwind, or now your Tailwind doesn't go off. Now you die next turn. Something like that could be a problem. But you know, it's all Pelipper. You know, even setting up Rain is usually just good enough. You know, and also running it next to Archildon is just very good. Gardevoir is kind of okay. My Gardevoir is there. Gardevoir is kind of base. Gardevoir is like probably niche. Because there are better fairy types, especially in the Mega slot. So it's like, yeah, you know, Gardevoir is fine at the moment. Then we got Mega Gardevoir. Who I'd probably throw here. Mega Gardevoir puts in a lot of work. You know, it does a lot of damage. You know, the spread damage, however, was just quite nice. But like, there's just like, originally, I thought Gardevoir was going to be like top 5 Mega, right? Obviously, I was a little wrong there, but there's just like better fairy types that don't have the Mega Evolve. Or I should say, a better fairy type that doesn't have the Mega Evolve. And then obviously there's like another guy coming up, but we don't have to talk about him yet. So we got Sableye. I'd probably throw him very good. Probably about here. He's fallen off a bit, but Sableye's still a little gremlin. Actually, I throw him here. Why not? I think it'll be funny. Because Sableye's just a good Pokemon. Prankster is an insane ability. You have no weaknesses, so you're like deceptively bulky even with like mediocre stats. You run Rain Dance for the rain teams. You can run. Can you run Sunny Day? Do you get Sunny Day? Oh, dang. Sableye. Okay, you do get Sunny Day. You get Rain Dance. So you don't get Hail and Snowscape are not things. Okay. Yeah, so just like Sunny Day and Rain Dance. Actually, do you get Sandstorm? No. Which makes sense. Like Sableye is pretty flexible. Does a lot of work. You also get Foul Play still, right? Didn't he remove that? You didn't lose Foul Play, right? Yeah, it's still something you can do. Foul Play. Like, which is also just a good move. No, you get back here. Stop running away from me. Yeah, Sableye is a very, very, very good Pokemon. Mega Sableye is trash. Mega Sableye is trash. Unfortunately, great in singles. Great in singles. I love him in singles. That was part of the reason why he got banned in Oraz OU. But yeah, he's just just not very good, man. As I punch the mic, I like him a lot. Don't get me wrong. I like me some Mega Sableye. He just doesn't do anything, man. Like he just kind of sits around, doesn't do anything. Base Aggron's also trash. Mega Aggron is pretty niche. I like the wall. You know, but the issue with the wall is like he just like when the wall can like get going, he's like destroying things, right? But when he can't do anything, he just kind of sits there and like lumbers around like, oh my god, my belly. You know, he's very feast or famine. You know, but in a very bad way. You know, because at least with like say, if you miss every move on Sneasler, right? For a game, right? Let's say hypothetically speaking, you miss every move on Sneasler, you hit like you get switched around and everything, right? You know, like someone swaps in a Steel type to take your Dire Claw, someone swaps in a Ghost type to take your Close Combat, you know. People are running Inner Focused for the flinches from Fake Out, you know. You at least have the threat of the Sneasler putting in work, right? You don't have that with Aggron, which is unfortunate. because I like the wall. He's cool. I kind of want to run him again. The wall is obviously one of the best Pokemon. Like, I like the wall a lot. He's much better, right? He used to actually be pretty fucking garbage. I don't say garbage. But he used to be really, really not that great in X and Y and Auras, right? But let's be so for real, man. let's be so for real. This guy is not that great at the moment. Filter's awesome though. Filter's awesome. Excellent ability. And they makes him even more bulky. But you have one set on Aggron, basically. You have one set, which is unfortunate. Base Medichamp's pretty bad. Mega Medicham, whoops. I haven't seen this thing once. I legitimately have not seen Mega Medicham once. I'll just say good luck, buddy. Like, you do a lot of damage, but like, what does that damage mean whenever someone protects, and then you get like one shot by like any move in the game. Fairy types, the few fairy types that are running around are so unbelievably strong. It's like, God, this thing just falls over to everything, man. But like, you get fake out, you do a lot of damage. Like, pure power is an excellent ability on this thing because you just do so much damage. You already have a decently high attack stat with this thing, so pure power effectively doubling is great. Base Manetric, I can see a dimension where you can put and work with this, but Mega Manetric is a little better. At the beginning of like season 1, or like I guess like halfway through season 1, there was a bunch of Mega Manetrics running around, and they were doing pretty okay, but they've kind of fallen off a cliff. But if I see a Mega Manetric, I'm not like, damn, this is gonna be an easy win, because it can still put in hell work. Like, Mega Manetric is that guy. And actually, do you still get overheats? That matters. I'd imagine you still get overheat. Yes, you do. All right, cool. It'd be very awkward if you didn't get overheat still. That's good, because overheat on this thing is very, very nice. Sharpedo, base Sharpedo. Speed boost is nice. Do you get Baton Pass? Nope. Alright, never mind. Never mind. Mega Sharpedo's a little better. You get Strong Jaw. Like, if they give it Vicious Rend, then it will be really, really good. Like, if they decide to give Sharpedo Vicious Rend, then you start off with as base Sharpedo, right? You speed boost, you protect turn 1. And or you have Tailwind activate and you like Swords Dance or something, right? And then all of a sudden, bam, you Mega Evolve. Now you're really, really fast because you're either +1 speed or you're double speed from Tailwind, right? And you Vicious Rend, you're one-shotting everything, right? Because not only is it a biting move, so you get Strong Jaw boosted, you also do more damage if you move before the target, right? That's why Choice Scarf fucking Dracovish was a thing, was because you'd be fast as fuck. You're and you're just like destroying everything in your path. Dude, when Dracovish hits the scene again, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy, I'm telling you. Base Camerupt is bad. Base Camerupt is really bad. Mega Camerupt can actually do something. He can at least put in a little bit of work. You get growth. You get growth. This thing's so goofy, man. Why do you get growth? I'm serious. I'm still wearing my headphones. I don't need these things. Dude, you get growth. Why do you get growth, man? Out of all the Pokemon, you get growth. It's just so funny to me. Like, this thing gets growth. Yeah, but a single Choice Scarf Draco can just die against a Gastrodon. Kinda. I mean, Gastrodon was like a Pokemon that would counter Dracovish, right? But like, you usually would have other Pokemon to cover Dragovish's weaknesses. So it's not that big of a deal, right? If Gastrodon comes out of nowhere, like Storm Drain was a problem for it. That's 100%. That's for true. But people had to run Gastrodon for Dracovish, right? So that should tell you more about that, right? Because having to run something for something else is a bigger feat than anything else, than getting walled out by something, Like, if for whatever reason, people have to start running Scizor because poison types are just dominating the metagame, right? You need something to be immune and that can also still do damage, right? That's more a testament of that poison type that's like making you run this steel type, if that makes sense. Anyway, back to this fucker gets gross. Back to Mega Camerapt. It just does a hell of damage. Like Heat Wave's very good on it. Earth Power is very good on it, because obviously, And we were running Ancient Power the other day. And it just does work. You if they have no investment Charizard, you basically just one shot it. And I think even with some investment Charizard, you can one shot that Charizard from full, because like Camera Up just be doing damage. Torkoal. What the hell? Why all the way down there? What the hell? Okay, Torkoal. I'm gonna say very good. Probably about there. It's just Torkoal, He's bulky. He does a lot of damage. He sets up the sun. There's not much else to it. Like if Charizard Y wasn't in the game right now, Torkoal would probably be a little higher. But a secondary Sunsetter is not bad. Like you'd rather have it be Sableye, right? Just because you can just like Prankster set it up, rather than having to swap out a Pokemon, lose a little bit of tempo. But I think overall Torkoal as a Pokemon is just better than Sableye, so that's why I'm placing it like this. Torkoal also enables other Pokemon, like Charizard enables itself and other Pokemon. Torkoal can at least enable other Pokemon. So that's something. And plus it works great in Trick Room. Trick Room is also very decent right now. It works great in Trick Room, so W's. Altaria, trash. Mega Altaria, also trash. Not much to go over. They just don't do anything. They don't do enough damage. They don't have enough hits, Like Dragon Fairy type is great, but you just don't do anything. You don't do anything. What the fuck? Melodic has fallen off a lot. I still think it's good, but we probably throw more so in niche. Because, like, Incineroar has fallen off a lot. Like, you don't see a lot of Intimidate Mons anymore. Specifically because King Gambit and Melodic, Y'all ruined it. Y'all wanted to keep running those sets, You wanted to run the Coil Melodic set with competitive. It's your fault. Now you don't get to run it. Because no one's running Intimidate Mons. And plus, not to mention, King Gambit actually ended up being pretty okay into Melodic, even if you got Scald Burned, was because like half the time they would just be trying to Icy Wind you, right? But then you swap in your Defiant King Gambit and you got +2 attack. So it's like, yeah. It's like, yeah, that's also part of the reason why like Melodic's fallen off a little bit. It's because you just see a lot more King Gambits. Cast Form is trash. Dude, I got a really cool buff idea for Cast Form. I'm not gonna talk about it now because I'm probably gonna do a video on it. But dude, Cast Form needs some help, man. Oh my god, it's unfortunate because I think there'll be a dimension where Cast Form, or sometime in the future, where Cast Form will actually be somewhat okay. Not like excellent, not like must-run Pokemon, but it'll be good enough to be like, okay, I might actually consider this for like a very niche team. For like a random ass tournament, like a random ass regional, like low-key, I think it'd be great. But you still have base 70 stats across the board. You don't do anything. Man. Alright, Bayonet's bad. Mega Bayonet is also bad. So they gave Mega Bayonet Prankster. They gave it no speed, and they gave it, is it 165 attack? Yeah, 165 attack. You just don't do anything, right? Like, it has one regional win, if not mistaken. That was Wolfie VGC. And that's it. But I think it's more of a testament to Wolf just being that guy, as opposed to this thing being good. Like it's not like it's unfortunate the situation that like Mega Bayonet's in, because you're so slow, you don't eat up hits like that, but you do hella damage. If you have a Pokemon set up Trick Room, you do hella damage. But, like, you'd rather have other ghost types, You'd rather just have other ghost types, You get Poltergeist, don't you? Because I could have sworn there was a random-ass Mon that just didn't get Poltergeist, or random-ass ghost type. Okay, you do get Poltergeist, which is good. It's just unfortunate, like that's like a requirement. You have to run it. Shadow Sneak doesn't do enough damage. Right, because obviously it's a priority, so don't do enough damage to that. Shadow Punch is just not good. Like, ignoring action checks is nice, right? But no one's running, like, double team, so there's no point. And Shadow Claw just doesn't do enough damage either, man. Like, if you're a special, Shadow Ball would probably be okay, obviously, but you just don't do anything. Gunk Shot, though. Gunk Shot. Chimeco's bad. Mega Chimeco's also not that great. It just doesn't, um, people wanted to have, that ability that would change normal types and steel type moves. Or they're making, a fan ability, I should say. And Chimeco is not the worst Pokemon to ever Pokemon, right? That's not the worst thing ever. Like, it has pretty okay stats, for the most part. Hold on, message. Okay, that's nothing important. All right, cool. But yeah, so it's not bad. Boom Burst is still decent on it, but at the same time, why would you run Boom Burst when you run literally anything else? It's um, like, and it sucks because you're a levitator, right? So you don't get the boost with the expanding force, right? To make it like a double move whenever you're on psychic terrain. So that's on that's super. Also, I like how the way that's spelled out here. User user on psychic terrain 1.5 power hits foes. Just a funny way to put it. It just doesn't do a whole lot. It's really slow still. Actually, do you set Trick Room? You do get Trick Room, so I mean, you set your own Trick Room. So I mean, it's not the worst thing ever. But I can't think of a reason to run this thing. Mega Chimeco just does. It's just another Pokemon just doesn't do anything. Customer really needs evolution. I think customer get evolution would actually be kind of cool. A good voice in Premierina, but still, that's what people were thinking. People wanted the steely voice or the bell call or whatever people were calling it, right? That's what people were thinking. Basically, because getting a steel type boom burst, it's 140 power, and getting it boosted beyond that would be fucking incredible. You can give Chimeco mediocre stats, right? But if you had it give it just that one thing to do, it would be really good because steel's a really good typing. Oh man. But yeah, they could fix that. Pokemon Champions could update the abilities for these Pokemon, but I just doubt it. Because I feel like if they were going to do that, they would have done it for a couple of these mods already. But who knows? They could buff it, or they could make a steel type sound move. That could be cool, but you do miss out on a boost. So, unfortunately, or actually no, because Primarina's ability doesn't boost the moves; it just turns the water types. So maybe it would just end up being Stab. Maybe I'm thinking too much about it. Anyway, Absol's bad. Mega Absol also bad. You can become a crit machine, and Magic Bounce is nice, but again, this Pokemon just doesn't do anything. Glalie, trash. Mega Glalie, also trash. Pokemon that don't do anything, or Pokemon that has to explode. You had to explode. Back in Oraz, I used to run this as a bit. I would run Giga Impact Glalie, so that my Mega wouldn't die in one turn, and there was a chance that I'd be able to live another turn to one-shot something else. It was so dumb. It's not good. It was not good, but it's something you got, I guess. Torterra, bad. Infernape, good luck, buddy. It's not that good. You get Fake Out at least. That's something. Empoleon's pretty niche, I think. Competitive is not as good at the moment because no one's running Incineroar as often. But it's still a solid Pokemon. Steel Water is very good typing, but you need competitive boost in order to actually do damage, which is a little unfortunate. But so there's ways to figure that out. I don't know. Luxray, trash. Rose Raid, I wouldn't say trash, but still not very good. Good luck, buddy. Rampardos, trash. Bastiodon, Bastiodon's a little better than Rampardos. It's probably still trash though. Yeah, I think it's still trash. It does have did it have a regional win, or did it just get placed very high at original in Scarlet and Violet? But that had less to do with Bastiodon being good and more to do with people being I want to run Bastiodon. Let's see. Base Lopunny is not great. You get Klutz. What do you want to run a Lopunny? Base Lopunny? Okay, yeah, your abilities don't matter with base Lopunny. You're just Mega Evolving anyway. Yeah, I thought I had something else, but I guess not. But yeah, Mega Lopunny is actually not too bad. Or so niche, If Ghost types become more of a problem in the future, then I think this thing will actually give a pretty good role in the future. But as of right now, it's fine. It doesn't do anything super eccentrically well. compared to other Pokemon. But it's like I'm pretty sure it's the fastest fake out user. I'm pretty sure the fastest fake out user. We can double check that actually. Oh wait, I gotta minimize this. Whoops. I'm pretty sure you're the fastest fake out user because you're 135. And then we can sort. You're an Uber in the single. That's crazy. Let's see. Yeah, you're the fastest fake out user. Now, of course, you have the Mega, which is unfortunate, but I mean, like, you make do. Like, if you really need to outspeed every other fake out mon, I guess it is something. Spiritomb is a tricker mon. It's alright. Not much else to it. It's like Sableye, but it's just significantly worse. You're really bulky, so that's something. Garchomp. Yeah, this is like is it better than Base Arrow? Probably. It's probably better than Base Arrow. I'd say so. Garchomp's just really good. Garchomp's that guy. I might even like push it up to the top. Garchomp's really good. It's good into Charizard with Charizard. It's good into Aerodactyl. Good with Aerodactyl. It's good with every Pokemon on like this team base, like or not on this team, but like in this top here. It's good into and with all these Pokemon apart from. It doesn't like facing Mega Kang because it can run Ice Punch. But like it has answers for like most of these Pokemon. Garchomp just goes crazy. There's not a lot to talk about. It's Garchomp's Garchomp. Mega Garchomp isn't as bad as it used to be. But like, why bother, Like, if you have items that normally Garchomp would want to run, right? Then it's not too shabby, It's not too shabby. Like, for whatever reason you can't run Citrus Berry or like Choice Scarf on it, then why not Mega Evolve it? Who cares? But like, you're better off running like like a Yachi Berry or something if you can't run that, or a Lumberry, as opposed to the Mega Stone, unironically. But like, it's not as bad as it used to be. But as they add more Megas, then you'll see Mega Garchomp drop off even more. Even though, I mean, I'll be real, it's not that much of a drop. It's not that much of a drop as for real. So Lucario is fine, I suppose. It's justified, Pokemon. Like yeah, justified inner focus. It's not too bad. Mega Lucario is also pretty decent. I think it's still niche though, because like you do a lot of damage. You're just not that crazy. Like I mean, you do have the benefit of if you're running inner focus, then you just don't Mega Evolve turn 1, right? So you don't get faked out, flinched. But you're still base Lucario at that point. If you're base Lucario at that point, then you're getting outsped and one shot by Sneasler. So it's just like, yeah. Lucario and Mega Lucario, they are fine, but if you let Mega Lucario go unchecked, you do just auto lose. It's one of those Pokemon, like very feast or famine kind of thing, and usually it's famine. Hippowdon's fine. I'd probably throw in a niche. Like, it's a very good Sand Setter mon, but it's just this guy's right here. Toxicroak is pretty not great. I don't think it's trash. Good luck. You get Dry Skin. That's something. It's good into rain teams, or it's good with rain teams. It's good against rain teams. Just don't run in the sun because you take damage from the sun. Mesa Bomb to Snow is fine, and Mega Bomb to Snow is also fine. Both set up snow, but it's really weird because like, does a Bomb to Snow get other abilities other than Snow Warning? You get Oblivious, don't you? Soundproof. That's what it was. So like, if you're running Mega Bomb to Snow, it makes more sense to run Soundproof just so you can like maximize your snow turns. It's just like something you can do, right? Now, I don't think you always run Aurora Veil on this guy, but it's something you can do, Oh wait, actually, what's the difference like Mega? Because Mega, you're just like much. Oh wait, it's even attack? I didn't realize the attack was like even. I thought it was a little lower. Okay, so Woodhammer on this guy doesn't make sense. I was gonna say, oh, you can run Woodhammer, it's a little less, but I mean, it's something. It's something you can do. But yeah, like Bomb Snow, like it's fine. But whenever it comes to Snowmons, you just rather run Frostlass. Frostlass is so much better than this guy at the moment. And Ninetales if you don't want to run like a Mega, Because I think non-Mega Bomb Snow at the moment just isn't very good. Like, it was okay-ish in Scarlet Violet, but at the moment, it's just not that great. Weavile in doubles, not very good. You do outspeed Sneasler. Sneasler just has more utility. I think you throw in Good Luck Buddy because you also don't get triple axle. Like if you got triple axle instead of like Ice Spinner for like Ice Stab, I think it would actually be pretty okay. Because with Ice, because triple axle, you would end up KOing Aerodactyl basically 90% of the time because you would miss triple axle sometimes because it's like 90 accuracy. Weavile is very good in singles at the moment though. Like outrun in singles on the singles ladders, so it's pretty okay. Rhyperior. What does Rhyperior even do in the moment? I've not seen it a whole lot. Rhyperior. Lightning Rod. Solid Rock. Solid Rock is reduced super. Yeah. Which is not too bad, not too shabby. You know, you just have to build a really, really bulky. Your special defense is really bad, unfortunately. So I mean, there's stuff you can do. You know, Buddy Press is nice. Obviously, you get really powerful rock slides. You do get very powerful rock slides, which one for the attack rock slide is yikes. You're getting taken a lot of damage. You're taking a lot of damage from that. And also you run Earthquake, and then I think what you just do, probably just protect at that point, right? Yeah, I think you just protect, and I think you try to run this thing in Trick Room for the most part, because obviously it's just really slow. You don't like you probably get away with Tailwind if you like max speed for some reason. You know, not that fast though. Like you're only 92 speed. It's not that great for Hyperior at the moment. Like I don't think this thing's bad. Like if you see Hyperior on the enemy team, you're like, oh damn, this guy probably knows what he's doing. Hyperior, it's like because you're probably getting bullied a little bit. Because Hyperior just does so much damage. If you're running a rain team, you're probably okay though. Leafeon is bad. Leafeon's also bad. In singles, Gliscor is really bad. Well, not singles, in doubles. In singles, Gliscor is incredible. But in doubles, Gliscor is really bad. And also, there's no Toxic Orb, so it's also just not as good. Mamoswine is fine. Probably niche. Yeah, I'd say so. But it's like at the very bottom of niche at the moment. Because like Mamoswine's a good Pokemon. Straight up, right? If when in doubt, run a Mamoswine. You can do a lot of damage with it. I got hiccups now. Alright, Gallade. Gallade is pretty niche. We ran Gallade recently in one of our teams, and Gallade's fine. You know, it does a lot of damage to sharpness. That's good. And if for whatever reason you don't want a sharpness, you do have other abilities to run. Because don't you get not steadfast, it's inner focus, right? No, it is steadfast. Was inner focus on Mega? Yeah, and Mega Sklade inner focus. My mistake. Yeah, because you get steadfast, which is not too bad. You know, getting +1 speed is not too bad. But I don't know. Like there is a set of Gallade running with Mega Gallade where you just be justified next to a Mousehold, and Mousehold would use the move Beat Up onto Gallade, so you get like a +4 attack basically, because Beat Up's a Dark type move. So I mean, obviously that's a set that's been around forever, but that's something you can do, I suppose. It makes Mega Gallade a little better, but Mega Gallade is bad. It's really not good. It does less damage than base Gallade, so why bother? Like you're immune to flinching, which is really good. That's really good, and you're also immune to Intimidate. But with turn 1, you're getting intimidated, so it's like, what's the point? Like if you would Mega like as soon as the Pokemon hit the field, right before abilities triggered, then I think that'd be significantly stronger, right? But you know why bother, man? Base Frostlass is not very good. Yeah, I'll put it there. Because there's like Destiny Bond shenanigans you can do with it. You know, it's pretty fast. And then Mega Frostlass has fallen off a little bit. Probably about there. Like it's still very good. You know, like if you want to run a snow team, you know, this is still not a bad option. You know, you're just not gonna have as easy a time compared to like running a Sun team with Charizard. You know, like Frostlass does put in hella work. Like this thing is still a very good Pokemon. It's still very, very good. Like if it got a boost with special defense in the snow rather than defense, then I think it would actually somewhat contend with a Charizard a little bit more. But of course, you would just be copying Sandstorm. You know, why bother at that point? Still good Pokemon. Puts in work. Base Rotom, bad. Rotom Heat is pretty niche. You know, bro do be doing damage. Rotom Wash is very, very good. Is it gonna run it? Uh, yeah, I'll throw it there. It's just bulky, and you can throw it on like a ton of teams. Like Choice Scarf set's really good. Citrus Berry set's really good. Um, it just puts in a lot of work. Like, name a Pokemon that can do what Rotom does. You can't really find too many. Like, you can Speed Control and hit Charizard. You can not only do decent Speed Control, but you can also hit Charizard and Aerodactyl both for super effective at the same time, which is pretty funny. Um, Rotom Frost is actually not too bad. You know, specifically because like Frost Blast is good, so that's not too bad. That's really bad. Oh, is Mo bad? I don't think Mo's necessarily terrible. I don't think Rotom Mo's terrible. It could be trash. But like I can think of a dimension where I could, in theory, run Rotom Mo. So I mean it's probably fine. Superior. I think I saw Superior once and I got one shot and died. Yeah. Throw it down. It's not very good. Base Embor is pretty bad. Mega Embor. Good luck, buddy. It's not the worst thing in the world, it's just not that great, you know. Like I think it's gonna get better next season. I think next season, whenever they do regulation MB, I think this thing will move from being a pretty lackluster at best mega to like probably like a pretty sizable niche Pokemon. Unironically, because we're gonna have like more access to other megas and other Pokemon that probably will be able to handle some of its teammates wants to run. So then, oh, you can just like all of a sudden, hey yo, Embor's running in. We won't get Heatran yet though. We're not getting the legendaries. I think once Heatran becomes like a thing, I think Embor will see a lot more usage as a mega because like everyone's clowning on Embor, right? Being like, oh hey, Mold Break your Embor. Oh yeah, you can hit Heatran for Flare Blitz. Yippee, you know? You're just hitting him in close combat anyway, which is true, right? You would usually want to go in close combat. But now like they can't switch in to the Flare Blitz unimpeded. Like that's kind of the point. It's like and obviously there's going to be other stuff it can do, but that's like the big thing. And I think it's still going to do a lot of damage. This thing has a pretty okay-ish attack stat from what I remember. If I can spell. Yeah, 148 is pretty solid. Now, of course, I think that's less damage than just running Reckless, but then you're boosting Heatran, so... like, I think it'll be a decent secondary Mega, assuming that we don't have as many items, but that's future-proofing. But at the moment, I think throwing there, it's fine. You know, like, if you see it, you could lose a Pokemon, but it's probably not going to hurt you that much. Oh, Samurot's pretty bad. Assuming Samurott is a good deal better. You know, his signature move is quite nice. What's it called? It's Ceaseless Edge, right? Samurott, and plus Sharpness boost is quite nice. Yeah, Ceaseless Edge. Cause like setting layer spikes for free. Well, I don't say for free. You're doing damage, right? Cause like hazard moves are really not that great in VGC and like doubles, because taking a turn to set up the hazard just isn't that great. But getting it as an additional effect from doing damage is good. It's really good. Watchhog does one thing very, very well. You know, it's analytic boosted because like it moves last all the time. It did go super crazy in that in Scraw's tournament. I don't think it's that great, but at the same time, it's really funny putting here. Plus, you get Ice Punch. Like Ice Punch analytic is actually not too bad because I think if you run like bulky enough, you one shot anything that takes super effective damage from Ice Punch, which is really funny. Because all abilities do this thing. They give this thing analytic. They're so weird. But hey, you know, we take those. A Light Part's like a Prankster Mon, so it's not the worst thing in the world. Let me double check what it gets. And then I might move it around. I mean, you do get Baton Pass priority, so that's not too shabby. That's something you could do. I mean, yeah, just there like Taunt, Thunder Wave. Choice Scarf Trick might go kind of crazy, not gonna lie. Party On could be funny. People don't really be using Attract. Ooh, you get Rain Dance too. Ooh, okay. So that might be something to look out for with Liepard. But yeah, I mean, it just doesn't live moves. So I mean, like, because unlike Sableye has like better defenses. So like, Sableye at least can live a little bit of moves. Unfortunately. And Whimsicott's like a fairy type, so I think throwing it here is probably fine. Semi-Sage is bad. Semi-Seer, it's probably also bad. Like, I think they all get Fake Out. All these monkeys get Fake Out, yippee. I mean, they're all... I don't think I've seen a single one of them. I'll be so for real. Excadrill. Probably about there. Yeah, it's good. It's good Pokemon. It's Excadrill. Not much to say. Bro goes fast in the sand. Hits real hard. It's Excadrill. And Mega Excadrill is not that great. I'll be so for real. If you don't care about your item on Excadrill, running it as a secondary Mega is not that bad. But typically speaking, you're gonna want Sash on this thing. I think Scarf is redundant because you're gonna be running like unless you're running Sand Force, but typically you're running just like Focus Sash, Sand. Why am I blanking on the ability name? Sand Rush. Oh man. All right. Not much else to talk about. I mean, like, it does a ton of damage. It hits through Protect, but not that well. It's fine. It's a fine Pokemon. Audino is pretty bad. So is Mega Audino. They just don't do anything. They bros don't do anything. Conkeldurr, pretty niche. If you need like a wide guard fighting type, it's probably the best one that isn't like a dual type. I'm pretty sure because like there's probably like another one that just isn't coming to mind. I guess wide guard that's also fighting type. But Guts is great on this thing. Iron Fist is great on this thing. Like, this is a Pokemon that's so good, it's probably worthwhile burning or paralyzing your own Pokemon. Like, it does a ton of damage, dude. The Conkeldurr is just that guy. Mach Punch, Drain Punch, absolutely great on this guy. Whether you run Iron Fist or Guts, this guy goes super crazy. Plus, you get Sheer Force as well. It's something. Like, that's something you can do. Alright, Whimsicott. So this thing is really good. Probably about there. Yeah, I'll throw it there. Whimsicott's great. Thing's an incredible Pokemon. Like, even though Garchomp's better, Garchomp is running Poison Jab in part due to Whimsicott. It's like, Whimsicott, like, people are running, like, max special... I know, because I'm people. They're running max special attack and fairy boosted, or fairy wing, so you get boosted Moonblast. Which does a ton of damage. Because you don't really care that much. You usually run max speed, so that you can either speed tie or outspeed opposing Whimsicotts. So you can get like your Tailwind up first, or like taunt the opponent or encore them or do whatever you need to do. But for the most part, Whimsicott is just like a great Pokemon. Even though the set's like relatively consistent across the board and usually running similar like stat spreads, Whimsicott puts in work. This thing goes kind of crazy. You effectively just play as just a mono fairy type. Now, unfortunately, you do just take more damage from Poison Moves because obviously you're a grass type. But you'll live. Well, I mean, you won't live. The Whimsicott won't live. At least you get to set up Tailwind. Crocodile, which I need to explore Crocodile more. I think it's underexplored. Because like what? You get Intimidate, Anger Point, Moxie. The issue with Anger Point is you can't proc it without doing a ton of damage to Crocodile. Because like what? The current crit only moves in this game are what? It's Flower Trick and Frost Breath. There might be another one that I'm just missing. Correct me in the comments. But for the most part, the Crocodile, I mean, it's fine. Bro's fine, I guess. Knockoff's great, obviously. It might just be a better Incineroar at the moment. Specifically because Incineroar is falling off. So, like, you could run Crook instead of Incin for, like, very particular, like, matchups, but, yeah. Cofagrigus is fine. Bulky Ghost type, not a whole lot to talk about it. Probably better than all these guys. Is the trash? Is Garbodor trash? I mean, I think the Gunk Shot's funny. I'm gonna put up there. It's like weak armor Gunk Shot, so that's kind of funny. Base Zoroark is not that great. You're not really using it. Hisuian Zoroark is pretty solid. Probably throw it in a niche. Yeah. You're in a niche. Because, like, the issue with, like, Sui and Zoroark is that if you try to lead a Pokemon or it ends up, like, transforming into a Pokemon that has, like, an entry ability and doesn't do the entry ability, you just immediately should be like, oh, yeah, by the way, this is a Zoroark, just instantaneously. But even if it doesn't, most people just assume, like, oh, that's clearly a Zoroark. like, like, one of these Pokemon in front of me is clearly a Zoroark, you know? Time to hit them both with ghost moves. or time to hit them both with dark moves. But yeah, this thing actually puts in hella work, you know, if it goes unchecked. Reuniclus doesn't do anything, I'll be so for real. Vanillix is fine-ish, I guess. It has the Frost Breath set with Anger Point Pokemon. You know, it's Sheer Cold sets, I guess. You know, with no guard. I mean, that's all right. Wife of 20 years doesn't like me kissing and holding hands. My new half black, half Asian, half Native American girlfriend. What? How do I convince her to stop being raped? I don't think that's what that is, dog. I think you're just cheating on your wife. I think you're just cheating on your wife. Oh god. I felt a bubble go down the wrong pipe. I'm dying. But low key, I think I'll delete that message. I think I'll make a YouTube short about it though. I think that's a funny bit. Because I'm gonna make this a video, Arthur. I gotta make this a video. So unfortunately, I have to kill your message. Oh man, that's kind of funny. I think I'll make a short out of that. That's kind of funny. Because that was one of the goofier comments. All right. Emolga. Emo. It's bad. Space Chandelure. I haven't seen this thing once, but I don't think it's trash. Shut up, phone. And Mega Chandelure is probably about the same thing, man. Like, I haven't seen it. They just don't do anything, man. Like, bro's just slightly too slow. Because, like, what? Doesn't it stay, like, 90 speed? Oh, no, it gets boosted to 90 speed. Yeah, why didn't they make it 100? Like, I think if you just make it 100, give it 10 less attack, it actually would be pretty solid. But, you know, what do I know? I'm just a guy who plays Pokemon. Beartic is not trash. You get Slush Rush. You get Swift Swim. You get some pretty decent abilities. Do you get all of the speed abilities? Snowcloak, yeah. Oh, well, Snowcloak's evasion. But still, it's not too bad, you know? Like, you want to run in weather, you know? Beartic's not the worst Pokemon in the world, but yeah, you know, good luck, man. Bow Stunficks are bad. Base Golurk, honestly pretty bad. Mega Golurk, on the other hand, is pretty niche, yeah. Like, if you really want to run Mega Golurk, you make it work. But Mega Golurk is just still tough. This guy's tough. Like, he awakened his Dolphin and everything, but it doesn't help him out too much. Like, you lose to Rain. Like, Rain really bullies you, unfortunately. I mean, obviously, you're a ground type. It's, you know, it's just, yeah, just get bullied. Dragon's very good. Probably about... Probably about there. Yeah, Dragon's very good. Tailwind, Draco Meteor, Dark Pulse. You know, you just do a hella damage. Hydreigon's just that guy. I mean, it sucks that, like, there's, like, every other game, there's, like, at least a fairy. You know, so you kind of get bullied out of using Hydreigon sometimes, but that's okay. Because Hydreigon's still a really good Pokemon, even if you get, like, dual weakness. It's all super, super good. Volcarona, falling off a smidge. I think it's still very good. Probably about there. You get Rage Powder. Rage Powder's nice. Plus, it's a Volcarona. Like, Volcarona's just a good Pokemon. If you haven't used Volcarona before, you should use Volcarona. It's very good. Basic Chestnut's really bad. Mega Chestnut is fine. It's not that crazy. I kind of want to try using it some more, you know? Like, if Gengar was better, right? Like, if Gengar was, like, running the metagame, this thing would actually put in hella work against Gengar. Because you get Bulletproof as your ability, so Sludge Bomb ain't doing nothing. But, like, yeah, you know, it doesn't do anything. Base Delphox ain't too bad, but why bother? You know, you can just have a Mega Delphox. Mega Delphox is probably about here. Yeah, it's very good. This is a very, very good Pokemon. It's like, it's probably a Fire Mega that's like worth at least trying over Charizard, but then you're like, oh, wait a minute, Charizard's just better. So you just end up running Charizard. Base Greninja's really bad. I like Greninja, but Bro's just not good in doubles. Mega Grin, also not that great, but not the worst thing in the world. You know, like there are worse Megas to run. Diggersby's really bad. It's the slowest huge power user, so it just doesn't do anything. Actually, it's the slowest huge power user. I might be wrong about that. Huge power. Oh no, you're not. You're faster than an Azu. My mistake. Then why don't you? Oh no, you don't run it that much because you have like shit HP. you have shit HP in comparison, and so Azu you can run like Trick Room and Tailwind. Yeah, so that's unfortunate. Plus you don't get you get Quick Attack instead of like Aqua Jet or something. So it's like that's a little tough. But yeah, I haven't seen Diggersby like at all. I mean, Earthquake's got to hit like a truck though. Talonflame. Up here, probably better than Rotom, probably. Gale Wings. There's not much else to talk about Gale Wings. Priority's great. Vivillon has been slept on a lot, and people are using a little more. It's probably better than Clefairy. Because you get Friend Guard, you get Compound Eyes. Sleep Powder's great. Hurricane's great on this thing, but typically speaking, because you run max speed Choice Scarf, and now nothing in the metagame outspeeds you without Choice Scarf. So then you just like start putting things to sleep and or hitting with Hurricane, which usually you're just hitting with Sleep Powder. And it's pretty funny because with Compound Eyes, it's like 97.5% accurate, so like around sounds like 97. So you're effectively hitting Sleep Powder every single time, and if you miss, it's like, well, lottery, you know, go play the lottery. All right, now we got Floette, which in base Floette, it's not the worst thing in the world, but you're not running it that often. You know, you could, you know, like if you want it as like a secondary fairy Pokemon or like a Pokemon to scare the opponent from bringing certain mons, it's not the worst thing in the world. And if you see an opposing Floette, it's probably gonna be Mega Floette, so you can like actually utilize the Fairy Aura, right, without having to utilize your Mega for it, because you can just like have them on the field at the same time. The opponent is going to Mega Evolve, and while the opponent Mega Evolving Floette will do more damage, you at least can do at least a bit more damage with your base Floette. And then Mega Floette is like, I'd argue better than Arrow. I argue better than Arrow, because Arrow just gets one shot by things, right? Like, if you're prepared for Arrow, you just one shot it. You know? Kind of same thing with Charizard, but at least with Charizard, like, you're doing so much damage consistently. The same thing with Floette. Like, with Floette, you can run, like, a really goofy spread. Like, because with Charizard and Arrow, you have to, like, max, for the most part, right? There's occasions where you run, like, bulky on either one. But Floette, you run, like, a little bit into special attack, and you throw, like, a ton into the defenses and a decent chunk into speed. And you're just going crazy. You're just going crazy, dude. Like, I think having more flexibility with, like, your stat spread is just very good. It might be worse than Arrow. I think it just depends on the team. But for the most part, and plus there's like a lot of the metagame that does try to counter Floette. That's more of a testament of like how strong Floette is, as opposed to anything else. Florges is not that great. Don't do it. Agoro's not that great. Don't do it. Farfrel, don't do it. Base Meowstic, it's probably okay. That one's just the male. So I guess we'll rank them about at the same time. I think they're about equal. I think the male's a little better because it's like Prankster. But actually, does it get Prankster? Let me double check. Yeah. So the male gets Prankster, the female gets competitive. So like the male's like a little better. Like I'd probably put it still in Good Luck, Buddy. You know, because they're still not that great, but it's something you can do. It's not the worst Pokemon in the world. Mega Meowstic is arguably just trash because it just doesn't do anything. It's worse than actually let me check this right quick. So what we're doing because these are the same stats, it doesn't matter. So with Mega Alakazam, right, you're significantly undersped, or you underspeed Mega Alakazam, right? And your special defense is lower, right? While you do have higher HP, your bulk is probably comparable on the special side. In the physical area, like a good deal better. It must be so for real, man. You're doing no damage. Like, they both, like, why do they both have trace? Why do they both have trace? Like, if you gave Meowstic, like, I mean, I don't think it should have gotten it, but if you got Psycho Surge, it's over. It's GG, because the thing does, I mean, they both get Expanding Force, like Alakazam and Meowstic, but, like, dude, Mega Meowstic needed something else, man. These stats just ain't it. Like, I think if you killed the attack stat, right, and threw it all into speed or special attack, then it probably would put in so much more work. Because it's relatively bulky, you know, like, you don't do well into King Gambit, but you don't need to do well into every Pokemon in the metagame to be good. But, oh well, that's how it be sometimes. Maybe it's a little better, but I'm gonna leave it in trash. Here, why not? Age Slash is really good. I think probably better than T-Tar at the moment. You know, you just wall out a good chunk of Pokemon. You know, Wide Guard's great. King's Shield is also great. Vascular Legion wants to eat your lunch, but if you play your cards right, you do just like one-shot it, which is quite nice. Aromatisse doesn't do anything. Slurpuff lost its Belly Drum set, didn't it? Like, didn't you lose Belly Drum? Because Unburden's still a great ability, but you lost Belly Drum. So you can't Citrus Berry Belly Drum anymore. Which is so dumb, man. Like, like, its stats are so blah. Like, its stats are so unbelievably blah, right? Because imagine a Belly Drum set, right? Max speed, max attack, 2 HP, fuck it, we max, right? You know, we run, no, stop that. We run, fucking Jolly, right? Yeah, we run Jolly. And just do that. I mean, hell, Adamant probably wouldn't be that bad either, you know? And just do something. You know, because, like, Sweet Veil is not too bad, you know, like, because into, Venusaur, even though Venusaur is going to want to try to Sludge Bomb you anyway, it's not the worst thing in the world. You know, if for whatever reason you weren't running Unburden, you know, like there's something you can do with Slurpuff, but typically you'd just be running Unburden Belly Drum. But no more Belly Drum. You ain't getting no more. Even with Belly Drum, it wouldn't be that great, but it would be in like it'd be somewhere in Good Luck Buddy, but it's trash. It's just not good. Unfortunately, our boy young Slurpuff just doesn't do anything. Howitzer also doesn't do anything. I haven't seen Howitzer once. What does Howitzer do? Because it was really good in ZA. It was really, really good in ZA, actually. Wait, hold on. I gotta minimize this. There we go. Let's see. Because, like, obviously, Mega Launcher. Water Pulse is not as strong as Surf on this thing, right? Still? Or Scald. Do you get Scald? No. Would you still run Water Pulse? I mean, you get Money Water. That's something, I suppose. Chilling Water is actually a pretty interesting move, but... Oh, no, duh, you'd run Hydro Pump. Yeah, you run Hydro Pump, like, Ice Beam. And then it's like, Dragon Pulse. And you could run, what? Force Sphere or Dark Pulse, I guess, depending on your team. Really? You do, like, this. Stop that. And they do, like, 1, probably. And then, probably that. And you're probably going to be under Tailwind, I think. Yeah. Still not that good. Went through all that just be like, this thing's trash. Helios is actually seeing a lot of come up at the moment. It's still pretty niche, though. It does one thing, or it does, like, a couple things super, super well, but only on, like, particular teams. You know? Still great. I think it's wonderful that this thing actually got some usage. Let's see. Tyrantrum. Good luck, man. It's not very good. Aurorus is also just trash, man. I think it's not good. I mean, Tyrantrum's a little better. Because, like, you know, just being able to hit things for 1 billion damage is great. Sylveon. This thing is incredibly good. I don't think it's, like, top of the top, but it's definitely... Is it better than Garchomp? I mean, people are running Sylveon over Floette sometimes. Mostly for the Mega. So I think that does say something. I think right now I put Sylveon here. I think it's fine. We put Garchomp between two fairies. Let's see. Base Halucha is can you get in burden? I guess that's something. Actually, you still got in burden, right? You still got in burden. Yeah, you still got in burden. You still got close combat. Yes, you do. All right, good. It's so awkward if it didn't. So I mean, that's something you can do, but come on, man. Let's be so for real. Like you're competing with Sneasler. And then Mega Halucha does one thing. So I mean, I guess I'm also gonna throw it down here. It does one thing. It wants to give other Pokemon no guard. Because high jump kick is a throw if you're running on this thing, because you take so much damage into protect, right? So you don't run high jump kick. You get Actually, let me double check what boosts Halucha real quick. Focus Blast, Yippee, Mega. So Cross Chop, Ayo, Stone Edge. You don't run high jump kick. You never run high jump kick, but you would still be running close combat over Cross Chop anyway. Dual Wing Beat? Yeah, something, I guess. Low key Rock Slide's not that bad. Rock Slide's like a set. Not a whole lot of moves that do a ton of damage, unfortunately. Because usually when moves like don't have a ton of accuracy, they usually have like some sort of utility or just do a ton of damage. And unfortunately, he just doesn't get a ton of them. So yeah, I mean, good luck, buddy. Dedenne is pretty bad at the moment. Doesn't really do anything. Cheek Pouch for Citrus Berry just doesn't do a whole lot. Gudra's also really bad. But the Suing Gudra, good luck, buddy. You know, yeah, it's fine. You know, it's a Dragon Steel type, so you don't have a ton of weaknesses. But you don't help your matchup in Sneasler a whole lot, which sucks. Klefki's actually right. It's one of the it's more of a niche prankster user because the other ones just do a little better, right? I mean, it's something. Trevenant is like the worst Trick Room setter, I think. Is it trash? Probably not, because I think there's a dimension where you could do something with it. Like, in the sun, you get Harvest. Now you're also in the sun. in your grass types. You're getting kind of bullied. And so I imagine it's like, so what? It's a small, regular, large, extra large. That's kind of what it looks like. So the extra large, very, very not that great, but still probably usable. All the ones I'm just gonna throw down here because I'm pretty sure all three of them, like all three of like the Gorgeists, are like in like the bottom like 10 least used Pokemon in the game. I'm pretty sure, probably in bottom like 5, might even be lower than that. But yeah, like the XL just has like better stats for the most part, or more usable stats, I should say. I think the small might have like a kind of bit of a niche somewhere, maybe, possibly, probably not. That's something I might need to look at because I think it's much faster than the other ones. Avlug is trash. So is a Sweet Avlug. Who'da thunk? Noivern, also trash. Noivern doesn't do anything. Noivern doesn't do anything. Decidueye, also trash. Assuming it's Decidueye, also trash. They don't do anything. They don't do anything. They just don't do anything. I can double check the Decidueyes, but I'm pretty sure both are pretty bad. I mean, Scrappy's good on the Asuing Decidueye. Let's be so for real. Who the fuck's using it? Aren't smallest and largest ones champions? No, yeah, the you're talking about the Gorgeists. The Gorgeist is the small, medium, large, and the XL. Like those are the sizes. And so like the small through like the large are kind of hard to tell apart from each other, but like the extra large is like really, really big in comparison. And it's really goofy. They're all in it, yeah. Is it only the two? Is it actually only the two? I mean, I don't know. I'll look at it later. Like if it ends up being only the two, then I'll fix it in post. But I want to say they're all in. I want to say they're all in champions because I could have sworn that all three were like, or the three smaller forms were in like the bottom like 6 least used Pokemon. But I could be misremembering. Anyway, Decidueye is just not very good. All right, Incin is still an incredibly good Pokemon, but it's fallen off a bit. Yeah. It's just fallen off like a good ton. But that doesn't mean it's not being used. People still use Ensign. Like people still prepare for Ensign. You know, it's Incineroar. Like it is the top one Pokemon of all time, effectively. You know, so you gotta be ready for that thing. You gotta be ready for him. Primarina, very very solid. Probably. Probably around there. Yeah, Primarina's really good. Does a ton of damage. Yeah, does a ton of damage. Takes a lot of damage. Primarina, we love it. Love to see it. Toucannon, it's not that great, but it's not trash. It does have something really goofy, right? So for those who do not know, Beak Blast, right? Its signature move. Um, you hit Beak Blast, right? And then Beak Blast triggers, right? And it starts at the beginning of the turn, right? And if anything makes contact with Toucannon while Beak Blast is charging, it gets burned. So that's something, you know, like its charge rate does have the highest priority, if I'm mistaken, in the game. Actually, I need to check if that outdoes Fake Out. I want to say it does. I'm pretty sure it does. So that is something to keep in mind. Like low key, Toucannon could be the savior we've all been needing to just burn everything in its path. But it doesn't do as good of a job burning things as like say like Skull Villain. So like I don't think it'll get like that high of a rating. But as of right now, it's not the worst thing in the world. Like there are worse flying types in this game. You know, Pidgeot's right there. So base crab is really bad. Base crab is really bad. Let's be so for real. Mega crab is just like I like mega crab. It's just nothing stellar. You know, it's a niche mega and it hits really hard. It does a billion damage. You know, does Toucan get Tailwind? I'm pretty sure it does. Usually you wouldn't be using it for Tailwind. You'd be using other mons for that. Hold on. Yeah. I mean, it's flying type. Makes sense. So I'm gonna get something, but the thing is, like, it has the base 60 speed, so that's something to keep in mind. Like, it's not moving first. You know, it's not helping your speed stat like at all because you're effectively moving last damn near every turn. Because it could be interesting, 50-50 where Fake Out risks getting burned. They Fake Out into Beak Blast, or you don't Fake Out and you risk the Tailwind going up for mostly. I mean, that's fair. That's probably something you would try to do. That's not the craziest thing, but like with the Rock Slide intrinsic metagame that we're currently in, I don't think it'd be that good. It might be better like in a later regulation, maybe. I don't know. We'll find out. That's not like bad thinking though. Like you're not thinking of like bad things, you know. Anyway, Mega Crab's fine. Mega Crab does things. Mega Crab does Mega Crab things. Mega Crab is slow. You got a Trick Room, and then you go, and you just like kill something. You one shot things. Better if contact moves were more common, but it might even be weaker if mons come. Like, yeah, that's probably true. Actually, let me double check Beak Blast. Yeah, it just burns on contact. So like, it's not like Scovillain. Like, it's worse Scovillain, and you have to like lock it into a move. But like, there's something it can do. Like, it can do something. All right, Lycanroc. So this Lycanroc, this one's Dawn, right? It's niche. It's a Sand Rush user and goes really fast. Gets a Sol Rock. Does pretty decent. The Dusk form is really not good. It doesn't do anything. And the midday is you can make it work. I think you can. I think you can make that work. Just doesn't do anything specific. Own tempo's nice, I guess. You know, I suppose. Toxapex I think isn't as bad as it used to be. But I still don't think you should be running it. It's pretty trash. Mudsdale. So there's like a couple goofy Mudsdale sets, but Mudsdale just doesn't do anything in particularly great. I love Mudsdale. This is my boy. My boy, giant Closdale horse. It just doesn't do anything. You know, like, it doesn't do enough damage. It's really bulky, though. Like, stamina, body press is great on this thing. Did I swap Dusk and Midday? Maybe I did. Because isn't the orange one the Midday? I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'll figure it out later. Because, like, Dawn, Midday, Dusk, right? Is orange Dusk? I'm about to find out. Oh no, you're right. Oh, this one's midnight. Midnight. Okay, so I just said the wrong terms. Okay, that's fine. Because I was thinking, because this is like base like and rock, which is like dawn, and then yeah, I didn't realize about midnight. It's fine. Someone will talk about it in the comments. I'll get an interaction. We'll get boosted in the YouTube algorithm. All right, Araquanid's Go is kind of hard. I think it's a little under explored because this thing one shots Charizard in the sun. By the way, I found that out the hard way. This thing can one shot Mega Charizard in the sun. Dude, Araquanid's so good. Araquanid's so good, man. That's such a crazy ass Pokemon. It's just so slow. Like I almost ran it during the first road to Master Ball, but it's just so slow, man. It's just so slow. Salazzle's pretty trash. Don't do it. Serena has been seeing a lot of play recently. I think it's pretty niche because it's basically its ability is Queenly Majesty, right? Which is effectively the same as Armor Tail. Actually, let me double check Queenly Majesty exactly. What? Okay. Queen Majesty's Pokemon is as protected from posting. Okay, so it's just priority move. So it's basically like Armor Tail or Dazzling, right? Still an insanely good ability, right? And it's not a pretty decent Pokemon. Like Serena's pretty decent. Yeah, like you would just typically rather have like a Farigiraf, but if you need like an offensive grass type, you know, yeah, it's something to take into consideration. Oranguru. Oranguru has dropped off like a ton. Like Instruct just isn't that great at the moment because you can just like one shot the Pokemon getting instructed, you know. Which if you saw the one of the previous streams, that's what we did. that's literally exactly what we did. We one shotted the Pokemon that was getting instructed, and then they just couldn't do anything. It's like you do get Trick Room, you know, so that's decent. You know, Trick Room Instruct is quite nice on Oranguru, but yeah, you know, just yes, Oranguru is fine. It's not a bad Pokemon, not particularly great. It's fine. Real tech is to instruct your. Let me instruct my opponent real quick. Self-destruct twice. Alright, then we have Passimian. Passimian's bad. Let me double check what Passimian does again. Isn't it just a standard fighting type? What does Receiver do? Oh, okay. So this is Power of Alchemy. This Pokemon copies the ability of an opponent of an ally that faints. So I mean, like, not the worst thing in the world. You can get huge power off this thing, but you have to like really play around your Pokemon fainting. So you're just really not doing it. Defiant's probably what you run normally, but yeah, your stats aren't big enough. Like your numbers aren't good, unfortunately. Rip Passimian. All right, Mimikyu. Mimikyu's a great Pokemon. Probably about there. Yeah, Disguise is great. Wait, it's basically Power of Alchemy, but Alolan Muck is probably Alolan Muck is significantly better. It's not even close. But Mimikyu is probably. I'm trying to put it in a way that makes sense. Like, I think Mimikyu is going to be a Pokemon that's going to be, like, in the same general spot in terms of rankings, while everything else around it's going to shift heavily, if that makes sense, right? It's probably going to be just as good as it currently is now, right? And that's basically how Mimikyu operates, is it's a really good Pokemon, but it doesn't, like, top the charts, right? But it doesn't really drop that low either, which is really strange. It's very weird, but I think that's fine. Go Mimikyu, baby. Mimikyu can do it. I believe in Mimikyu. All right. Base Drampa is terrible. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Mega Drampa hasn't done anything either. Like there's like a method to make them trigger Berserk several times because Berserk doesn't trigger once. It triggers based off each time you drop below half HP. It's half HP, right? Bruh. Yeah, when it reaches half or less HP, but you can do it more than once. You know, so it's like it's something you can do. You know, but just Drampa just doesn't. It's just not that great, man. Like it's a dragon type, so that's cool, but it just doesn't do anything. Like in its Mega, right? Actually, if we go check out its Mega real quick, again, like its numbers just aren't very good. You know, like it's so slow. Like if you Trick Room it, it probably goes crazy. You know, like you could probably figure out how to Tail Room it. You know, if like you do like then you'll get 88 speed, man. You're slower than I'm pretty sure you're slower than... Aren't you slower than Rhyperior? Just like, yeah, you're slower than you're slower than Rhyperior. Oh man, that's unfortunate. Yeah, Drain Punch just doesn't do anything. Kamo was great. Kamo was great. Kamo was very, very good. Soundproof is great, so you basically just stop. If you're worried about Mega Gengar or Sylveon, Kamo is great, because Kamo does do very well into Sylveon, specifically because Sylveon's typically running Hyper Voice. But if they're running Hyper Beam, you just lose. If they're running Hyper Beam, you can't do anything about it, you just lose. Let's see. Corviknight's also a very, very good Pokemon. I haven't seen a lot of it recently. Is it better than Clefairy? Probably. It's probably worse than Mega Delphox. But it has like more applications than Mega Delphox. I think we'll just leave it there. Yeah, it's still a good Pokemon. Flapple and Appleton's terrible. Flapple has like a gravity niche and does like okay-ish damage. But I'll be so for real, I think this thing's still really bad. I'll be so for real. I think this thing's still really bad. Sandaconda's also not good. Poltegeist has like a Shell Smash stat, I guess. I guess good luck, buddy. Like, I think you could probably make this one work. It's not that crazy. Hatterene. It's not that good right now. It's not bad. It's probably niche. If you need like a Trick Room sweeping fairy type, it actually probably puts in hella work. Once Indeedee comes back, then it's GG's. Mr. Rhyme. You get Screen Cleaner. Goodbye screens, which is good into that into actually Sableye, which is kind of funny. But I don't think I even saw anyone use it. Actually, that's not true. I've seen it used once. Let's see. Runarigus. I've not seen Runarigus use it at all. But it's like, it's a bulky, destroyer of abilities. Probably not too bad. He's the best one at cleaning screens, so he should be auto top tier. I mean, like, if Sableye was so much... Like, if Sableye was, like, cooking like crazy, and I think... then I think Mr. Ram would go kind of hard, but he just doesn't. And with Runarigus, like, what does Runarigus do? Besides, like, throw abilities around. He basically has, like, Mummy, but, like, a little extra. If I'm not mistaken. Or it doesn't work exactly like Mummy. Because, like, Mummy... making contact with this Pokemon has the ability to change Mummy, which, like, yeah. Wandering Spirit. Oh, so this one's specifically Contact. Actually, no, it isn't. Isn't Coffergus the same thing? Am I crazy? Oh yeah, so they're like they're the same moves. Never mind. It's Fat and Wandering Spirit will swap their ability. Yeah. Like it's useful. Like they both do the same thing. Hold on, let me compare their stats real quick. Because I'll be so for real, Coffergus is just better. Like, Coffergus is just, like, a better Pokemon, typically. Like, you have, okay, so the only difference is you swap the special attack and attack stats, right? You are immune to electric type moves with Runarigus, but at the moment, that doesn't help you, like, at all. Because you just die to rain teams and snow teams, you know? Coffergus isn't getting a whole lot of play either, but at the same time, like, you're kind of hitting things relatively hard with Shadow Ball. Both the contact with the swaps, yeah. Wait, so Wandering Spirits, okay, yeah, Wandering Spirits is a swap. Okay. Yeah, I'll be real. I think that's just worse. I'll be real. I think Mummy's just better. Because, like, Coffergus doesn't need an ability, you know? So, like, I think Wandering Spirits is just worse. So, yeah, I don't think Runarigus is, like, the worst thing ever, you know? But I think it being there is fine. Alcremie is probably really bad. It has Decorate, at least. I mean, like... Sure, I guess. Yeah, Decorate. More Pico? What's this thing do? Besides, like, Aura Wheel. I'll throw more Pico there. You're a Dark type, so you're immune to Prankster at least? Hunger Switch, yeah, I don't really know what you really want to run on this thing. Besides, like, Aura Wheel. You're doing hella damage, though. Like, you probably do, like, just max at the moment. Max, you probably don't. Focus Sash? You probably Choice Scarf. Low-key, I think you Choice Scarf. think you scarf this thing. Yeah, I mean, like, I think you can make more Pico work. But, like, I think it being so predictable, right? And with Protect being, like, a top 1 move, basically, you're not really guaranteed in killing things, unfortunately. Dragapult's very good. I like Dragapult. Dragapult's very solid. Probably about there. Yeah, Dragapult's good. Not a whole lot to say about it. I think it's dropping off in usage a little bit, but it's fine. Weird Ear is bad. Don't use Weird Ear. This thing is not good. Cleavor. Now, Cleavor is an underexplored Pokemon that's getting a lot of use right now. I'll be so for real. I say a lot of use. But, it checks and one-shots Charizard and, like, it checks and one-shots Charizard and Arrow. It's okay-ish, and it's a flow wet, because you just, like, chunk it for a ton of damage. And, yeah, you're just that guy. Your Stone Axe does a ton of damage, because it's base 65, but you also get Sharpness boosted because it's a slashing move. And you can run X-Scissor if you want another, move. But typically speaking, you're running Bug Bite. And you can run Tailwind on this thing. This thing goes crazy. Why isn't Berry not very niche? Because with Cleavor specifically, it just goes kind of because like I might drop it to niche because it's not used that much, you know. But like with what it does, like let me pull up trying to get real quick. All right, so with the Cleavor, right, the most common sets right now, right, you run Sharpness. I don't want Ancient Power. You're gonna run Stone Axe. Stone Axe, and you're running Bug Bite, and you're running Feint, and Protect. That's typically what you're running. And this thing goes dummy stupid. You like max do that, and you either Choice Scarf or you Sash. I don't think it's Potential Mon, or you said Potential Man, but like because this thing did win. It got first and second on a tournament recently. So like it is something to look out for. Like it is a Pokemon that's been used and dabbled on the ladder, right? Like this thing does go kind of crazy. Like it doesn't get one shot by a lot of things either. Like it has naturally a ton of bulk. Like 70 HP, 95 defense, 70 defense. That's pretty okay for right now. You just have to be like reasonable what you're doing, you know? Like you could forego a little bit of attack and like throw some special defense in there. But I feel like you always do max, right? Because with this, you one-shot Charizard and you one-shot Aerodactyl. And if for whatever reason you don't need Feint, you can swap it for Tailwind. If for whatever reason you don't want Bug Bite, you can run X-Scissor. Where's it at? X-Scissor. You could also run U-Turn. Like I think this thing is severely underrated at the moment. Like this thing goes dummy stupid. So I think I'll throw it there for right now. I might drop it on niche, but I think right now I think I leave it there. Because this thing goes crazy. It goes crazy. I don't think it's as good as Scizor, like in a vacuum. Or as Mega Scizor, I should say. Because base Scizor gets bullied a whole lot. Well, Cleavor not so much. Because you're not, because while obviously you don't resist Air Slash or Dual Wing Beat or Heat Wave or anything, you're not super effective to it either. You know, so like, you could build a bulky guy, but I feel like you Stone Axe. And plus, with Stone Axe, you also get Stealth Rocks thrown in the field automatically. Which is great, because Charizard, if Charizard's in the back, oh my god. Because you're either one-shotting Charizard or you're chunking it for 50% of his HP off the bat, right? Because normally, taking a turn to set up rocks is not good. But since you're doing damage and setting up rocks, that's really, really good. You know, it's a very nice bonus effect, you know. The only issue with Stone Axe is that it's 90% accuracy. But yeah, so like, maybe it's a bit of a soul read, but I think throwing this guy up here is, like, I'm telling you, this guy's gonna go crazy soon. He's gonna go crazy soon. He's gonna win more tournaments. Alright, so Basculegion female is not terrible. It's fine. Like, it has a niche, it's just like, you know, bulky, you know, water type. It's fine. It's not the worst thing in the world. Now you are running male, and the male's probably like out of all the regular Pokemon, Basculegion male's probably the best one. And you could even argue it's top 1. Basculegion's that fucking good, man. It's so good. It's very, very splashable regardless of like the weather you're running. It's really good in Tailwind, and you could, if you want to run mid speed, you could run it in Trick Room as well. This thing goes crazy, man. It's so stupid, man. It's so stupid, it's so crazy. Like, people get mad about Sneasler. This guy's the broken Pokemon of the format. Basculegion is the broken Pokemon. Like, straight up. It's harder to answer Basculegion than it is to answer the top 3, like, Mega Pokemon. Straight up, man. Like, it's difficult. Like, if you did this, right? That's not crazy. That's not crazy to me. Big Fish, dude. Big Fish goes crazy, dude. Like, because I think I could do this, low-key. I think this probably makes the most sense, right? Because while Basculegion doesn't mind going into Floette, if you don't play your cards right, Floette just kind of bullies him. But then Charizard can just like Solar Beam him and also just like one-shot him. So like it is something to take into account. Wo-Chien's arrival will spell doom for Basculegion. Honestly, yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. Once people start running Wo-Chien again, Basculegion's done for. Or once he comes into the game. All right, Sneasler. Is Sneasler at the top? I don't know if he's at the top. Sneasler's really good. I'm throwing a run at the moment. Because the thing with Sneasler, right? Sneasler is a very, very good Pokemon, right? But you don't have to run it. You know? Like, it's something that you prepare for. And Sneasler is low-key kind of holding the format together, right? Where it's like some Pokemon that are just like really good just get insta-checked by Sneasler. While Sneasler is pretty easy to remove, if that makes sense. You know? Dire Claw is annoying, sure, but like, I'll be so for real. I think I'd rather deal with Sneasler most of the time than a Basculegion, because Basculegion is on every single team, and Basculegion is on every single team. You know, there have been several teams where we run no Sneasler. And while I think Sneasler is like one of my favorite Pokemon in the format, you know, you don't need to run it every single time. But Pokemon like Basculegion, you kind of have to. You know? The next Pokemon, Meowscarada, is very good. I'd probably throw it probably about there. Meowscarada is really good. Protean's great on it. You know, triple Axle Protean. You one-shot Aerodactyl, which matters a lot. Flower Trick's also just a really good move. Always critting is great. Yeah, I mean, Meowscarada is great. You get knockoff. That's good. And if you don't run Protean, then Overgrow is still really good on Meowscarada. But Protean for, like, Choice Scarf Protean or even Focus Sash Protean is still good into the arrow. But I feel like you always run Choice Scarf on this thing, so you can one-shot the arrows. If Aerodactyl, like, kills your team for whatever reason, run Meowscarada with Triple Axle. And then Aerodactyl's no longer a problem. Assuming you don't miss. No one's running Skeledirge. I don't think it's bad, though. It's probably about there. Quavel's probably all the same. Yeah, probably. Because, like, Skeledirge is still really, really fat, and it gets slack off. So it gets, like, constant recovery, you know, so it's quite nice. So if you can't do damage for a turn, you know, slack off. It's also very good in Trick Room. And Quavel constantly buffs its own speed with Aqua Step, and plus Moxie is just very solid set on it. Do you get Baton Pass? I imagine you don't. You do get Baton Pass. Dang, okay. So low key, that's a set. That's a set. You can do like Baton Pass, Aqua Step, right, which is base 80, by the way. I didn't realize it was base 80. I thought it was like a little lower. You do like that, which is a very simple set, right? Because like, but you have like decent, okay-ish natural bulk. And you could substitute. You probably just protect, or you could. I don't think you don't close combat, right? I think close combating is like a bad idea. Okay, I think knockoffs is like you do something like this, you know, because you're hitting basically everything on the opposing side of the field for decent damage. And also you're on Moxie, yeah, but you might actually drop a substitute or knockoff for something that does a bit more damage. Well, I say that, but like, because I have not seen a lot of Quavel, but I think there's something you can do with it. Mousehold's great. Mousehold's the second best redirector, third maybe. I mean, it's probably better Volcarona, I think. Probably throw it about probably about there. Yeah. I think you're better than Preem. I think you're better than Sableye. Yeah, probably about there. Mousehold's probably about there. Follow Me is great. Gets the friend card, which is also great. Population Bomb's funny. You got beat up strats. Yeah, and with King's Rock, you can flinch someone. It's all hell and back with Population Bomb, so that's the thing. People don't run that anymore though, because it's a while it's like pretty high chance of it happening, it's not super consistent. And if you get knocked off, then your strategy just dies. So it's like oof, rough. But same time, Follow Me is great. Yeah, this is like one of the best redirection users. All right, let's see. Garganackle doesn't really do anything in this format. I mean, I don't think it's terrible, but at the same time, it got a huge nerf to Salt Cure. Salt Cure does substantially less damage now. Like, it got cut in half, if I'm not mistaken. Like, the Steel types, Water types in, like, normal Pokemon take, like, half the original damage it was. I don't remember what the exact numbers are. Yeah, Salt Cure got nerfed. It got cut in half. Like, its damage numbers got cut completely in half. I can double check if they have it on Showdown. Salt Cure, Garganackle. Let's see. So Salt Cure, yeah. So see how it deals a 16 and like 1/8 on Steel and Water? It used to be effectively double that, if I'm not mistaken. Like, it used to be double, at least for the Steel and Water types. I don't remember the exact numbers off the top of my head. That's basically what it was. Which, unfortunate, but that's what happened. But at the same time, even with the nerf, Garganackle's not that bad, and even if it was the same, like, even if they never nerfed it, it still wouldn't be, like, dominating anything. Like, it's still a Pokemon you could think about running, I don't think it's trash. Like, if you throw in trash, probably top trash, but I don't think it's trash. Like, there are worse Pokemon to run than Garganackle, like, substantially. Alright, Armarouge is kind of mid at the moment. Same thing with Ceruledge. They're both kind of mid. I think Ceruledge is a little better right now. But once they get more Pokemon in, then I think these Pokemon will either explode in popularity or diminish. Like, I think Ceruledge is going to fall off kind of hardcore coming up. But at the same time, Ceruledge is already, like, kind of on the bottom, These Pokemon don't really do a whole lot at the moment. Belly Bolt's pretty bad. It's Electromorphosis is the name of the ability. Yeah, Electromorphosis, where you whenever you take damage or you get hit by an attack, I should say, you basically charge. You have the charge effect done. Which is good. Charge is great. If not mistaken, it's plus special defense and power double your LS type moves, which is pretty good. That's not bad. You just like run like hella bulk. You just run hella bulk. Probably do something like that. Yeah, something like this. Live every move you possibly can. So it's something, but let's be so for real, it's not happening. You're getting one shot by Garchomp. Garchomp's one shotting you. It's like it just ain't happening. So base Scovillain is terrible. This thing is not good. Probably one of the worst Pokemon in the game, right? The strat with Scovillain that I was using is you run Moody, and you protect turn 1 if Rage Powder doesn't make any sense. And you get like plus whatever stat happens and minus whatever stats happen, right? So it's like, it's you can get like a buff, right? And if you get like a negative stat into something that you don't want to have negative, right? It's not the end of the world, right? You're running a Scovillain, like, let's be so for real. It's the best support mega, or I should say the only decent support mega. It's definitely better than Cleavor, I think, at the moment at least. It's also like probably, honestly, say probably about there. I think Mousehold is just a way more consistent Pokemon, But like Scovillain is this is a great Pokemon, straight up. I think this thing is I think even with it getting a ton of usage, or getting more usage, I should say, it's fallen off a smidgen. I think it's still kind of slept on a little bit. Like, I think people aren't really I think people really underutilize Burn. Because we were like, oh, number cut in half? That's a lot. Number cut in half. Especially on ladder, I should say. Like, on ladder, people are like, oh, I'm burned? Whatever, else we'll just play the game. So a Spothra is fine. There's like a Baton Pass set you can do with it for, like, you speed boost, and you can, like, Calm Mind, and you can Lumina Crash, and then you Baton Pass into your Float or something, because that's something that people are doing. Because Lumina Crash, like, 100% chance to decrease the special defense. It's 100% chances there, or am I crazy? Yeah, 100% chance. It's by 2? Damn, I didn't realize that high. I thought it was just 1. But yeah, like, it's an insanely good move. But, it doesn't do anything else, unfortunately. Like, it needs to, it wants to be, like, a stat passer. And you do get Battle Pass. So, like, you only do that one thing, you know? And Battle Pass isn't really all that popular at the moment. Especially whenever you're passing the baton. Usually you want the Pokemon coming in to not take damage, right? And a Spothra doesn't really do very well at taking damage. You know, it's not like it's Orthworm where it's like, oh, you can just take a ton of damage and be fine, you know? Because Orthworm's like one of the best like passing Pokemon because it doesn't take damage like that because it's just a bulky guy. But we'll get to Orthworm coming. He's coming up soon. Tinkaton's fine. If you need like a fake out Mold Breaker guy, I mean, Tinkaton. Magician, I guess, is okay on it, but people are usually running Mold Breaker. Because, like, it's a Pickpocket Magician, I think is what he gets. Yeah, oh no, it's Own Tempo, my mistake, not Magician. So yeah, you know, Own Tempo, fine. I mean, I don't really see a lot of Pokemon using Teeter Dance. Is Teeter Dance even in the game? I don't even know if Teeter Dance is in the game. Because Mold Breaker is just, like, obviously just a good ability. Pickpocket, so, like, if you, for some reason, like, eat your berry or whatever, right? You can just steal an item, you know, which is pretty decent, you know, but like you have to like you know, commit to hitting the opponent. You know, it's like, and dude, your attacks, oh my god, I don't know why they made it 75. Like if they made it 100, this thing would be so good. But of course, you know, it's like, oh no, we gotta make it 75. You know, we totally won't be releasing a Pokemon, you know, in the very next installment of Pokemon that does the exact same thing, that has the same move as Tinkaton, but like with a better attacking stat. But whatever. Whatever. Can always have what you want. Alright, Palafin. Palafin's fine. Like, it's worse than Basculegion substantially. But you gotta be prepared for it. And I think I threw in a niche low key, because I think the difference between actually, where did I throw Starmie? Where did I throw Mega Starmie? There it is. So like if I were to order this, Palafin and Starmie would like be like swapped. But like niche is fine. Because like there's like pretty decent gap between Basculegion and Palafin, but the gap between Palafin and Starmie is like pretty decently big. So the gap between Basculegion and Starmie is fucking massive. Like it goes off the camera, as you can see. Like you'd rather have a Palafin than a Starmie. I'll be so for real. We're releasing green to get ton where it's just green. Has 25 more points. That's that dude Loki. If they do like whatever the next name of the region is, you know, they just do like that region Tinkaton, and bro's just green and just hits harder. I'm all for it. I mean, because you just give it 100 attack, low key that Gigaton Hammer is like deleting things. Like it's so good. All right. Anyway, Orthworm is a very good Pokemon. It's fallen off a ton recently, unfortunately. Like I think it has more to do with people like not being very good with Orthworm itself, right? Because Orthworm at the beginning was very easy. It's like, oh, you can just Earthquake next to it, right? But like, people aren't really utilizing its offensive prowess as much. You know? I mean, typically speaking, you're gonna want to just like Shed Tail. You know, that's what you do like majority of the time. But it's like, oh, I see something I could body press. You should start body pressing things. I think the bottom of the berry is probably fine. All right, Glamora, which by the way, this is like probably a hot take, but Glamora is like incredible. I think Glamora is absolutely incredible. Like, I personally think more people should start running Glamora, right? And base Glamora is being used decently more on the ladder, right? And I think that's what's going to end up happening. Glamora is going to be like more of a mainstay Pokemon. But like, dude, this thing is crazy. Glamora is so good. Glamora is such a good Pokemon. Bro, it's like base 86 speed, so like it's 1 point faster than Archaludon, right? So you always outspeed Archaludon basically, right? Assuming that you're running like at least some speed investment, which usually you're running max speed, max special attack. And this thing one-shots like everything, and like one-shots whatever it touches. It does so much damage. Oh my god! Like you one-shot Aerodactyl, base and Mega. One-shot Charizard, obviously. I think you one-shot Floette. I haven't really seen a whole lot of Floettes when I was using Glamora, but I feel like you one-shot Floette. And you chunk everything you don't one-shot for so much damage, they get scared. Dude, Glamora does so much damage. And like, obviously you run Focus Sash, and if you get hit by a physical move, Toxic Debris. Boom. Poison. You know, spikes. touch him, touch him, touch him, touch him. Poison, 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 poison. Dude, Gilmore gets so much value. Gilmore gets so much value out of existing. Plus, Spiky Shield's good, like, just a great move. Mega Gilmore, I think, is a little worse. It's decent in, like, open T-sheet tournaments. On ladder, it's not as good. But it's something. It's something. Farigiraf. I'd probably put Farigiraf probably about there. Let's be so for real. Yeah, I'd probably put Farigiraf there. So you don't have to run Farigiraf, but it's still nice to have. I mean, yeah, there's not a whole to it, Bro's a big guy. He can actually eat up a couple hits, especially with Colberberry. So you reduce the damage from Dark type moves. And yeah, just big guy. Imprison's really good. Trick Room's very good. Obviously, Spread Hyper Voice for like some decent chip is still decently good. Step on my spikes. Step on my spikes. All right, King Gambit is really, really good. Probably better than Mega Arrow. Dude, King Gambit's so good. Like, all of its abilities are good. Like, Pressure's obviously not as good, right? But you could run it and actually still get some value out of it. Dude, King Gambit is so good. Oh my god. You don't have to run steel coverage on it. You can forego Iron Head and still put in hell of work. Like, King Gambit is so good, you gotta run low kick in order to deal with other King Gambits. And now every King Gambit is either Black Glasses to maximize his damage with Dark type moves, or it's fucking Choppleberry. But Choppleberry is really good because obviously you don't die to Sneasler, and you don't die to opposing King Gambits using low kick. Doing Supreme Overlord is on a reign right now because, like, obviously since Intimidate Ensign isn't as common, or just like any Intimidate users in general, like stat lowering just isn't happening as often. Supreme Overlord, you get boosted whenever your allies are fainting, so it's like it's something. And like I think Defiant's still better, right? Because Defiant's still more consistent. Because even when King Gambit doesn't get a boost from Defiant, you act as if you have no ability, which King Gambit still works just fine. Like if King Gambit had an ability that said this ability does nothing, it would still be good. You would still be really good, dude. King Gambit is just that guy. I think Basilisk is still better though. King Gambit's kind of harder to work on teams than compared to Basilisk. All right. Sinistra. Sinistra. Yeah. Yeah, Sinistra. What am I talking about? Yeah. Sinistra is like the best redirector mon. Probably about there. Yeah, probably about there. Sinistra's so good. I think if you need a redirector, you should always consider Sinistra. That's like your first priority. Actually, I think Sinistra's higher. Probably there. Yeah, I think so. Like, whenever you're considering a redirector mon, you should think about running Sinistra. Sinistra's so fucking good. This thing goes crazy. Machigacha is an excellent spread move, and it can burn. I've never burned with it, because, like, I'm unlucky. But you can burn. You can burn both opponents, and you heal off all the damage you do. That's good. Life 2 is incredible. Rage Powder is incredible. Protect. Who's on Protect? But, like, the big one being Rage Powder, And obviously, Hospitality is an excellent ability. But if for whatever reason you don't think you'll be swapping out that often with Sinistra, you can run Heat Proof, which is kind of a bit of a tech, low key. Because Sinistra Heat Proof, taking less damage from Fire type moves is pretty good, and less burn damage is also pretty convenient. Well, actually, fire damage against this Pokemon is dealt with half of offensive stat. So basically, it just says, oh wait, what's your offensive stat? It's base 100. Now it's base 50. Yeah, so you're effectively just like cutting it in half, which is pretty good. It's great stuff. Great stuff. Like it is a tech. Like Hospitality is more consistent. It's like better, but Heat Proof is something that if you're never swapping out of your Sinistra, you might as well just run that. But I think you'd rather just run the Hospitality. All right, our Chaladon is also an incredible Pokemon. Probably about there. I'd probably put it here on a bad day, but I think at the bottom it's fine. Because stamina is really good on it. However, you lost Body Press, which sucks. Like, if you had Body Press, this thing would be, like, so much better. Like, oh my god, Rain teams would be dominating, which I think was ultimately probably a good thing. That they did that, because Body Press was kind of crazy in this thing. You run, like, a little bit of investment into your defense, and then you start Body Pressing things as you're taking damage throughout the battle, because, like, half the Pokemon in the decks are physical, So it's like, yeah, I'm just going to start Body Pressing things. Like, your set would be, Protect, Body Press, Electro Shot, Dragon Pulse, probably. You could probably forgo Dragon Pulse for Flash Cannon. or Steel Beam or something. And since Leftover is actually pretty decent in this metagame, you know, like Leftovers makes a ton of sense on this guy. Like he can run Citrus Spray, he can Leftovers. I usually see Leftovers just because they can stall out a lot easier with stamina. And with so many Pokemon that can burn, you know, like Rotom Wash, and so many Pokemon that can like lower attacking stats, which not as common anymore with lowering attacking stats. And since it has since you're seeing less Intimidate Incineroar, you're also seeing a little bit less Archaladon. I don't know why I blinked out on the name Archaladon. You're seeing a little bit less Archaladon. But at the same time, Archaladon's still around. Like, if you see a Rain Team, it's going to have Archaladon, basically. Almost always. And then Hydrapple, you don't really see a lot of Hydrapple, unfortunately. And it's kind of fine. Like, it's niche. It's Dragon Cheer is very, very good. But unfortunately, Fair is just really strong. Like, I think once more Steel types come into the metagame, and or more solid Dragon types, then I think Hydrapple's going to move up in the tiers. Now let me double check the top up here, because I think anything below very, very good, I'm going to keep the same. Do I bump Sneasler up? Probably not. I think this is about what I keep it for the most part. I could maybe move Dragonite up. I don't think I need to. I think everything's here is fine. I need water real quick. Yeah, I think I got a pretty decent list. Okay. Let me make this. I want to get them all on the screen. You can still see the ad. Wait, what happens if I full screen here? Okay, I'll be real, that didn't help out too much. Oh man, that's a lot of Pokemon. That's a lot of Pokemon. Well, here's the final list. But I think ultimately this is pretty decent. I think we did pretty okay. You have put Dondozo S tier. Unfortunately, Dondozo is in the game, but Dondozo will probably be at the top once he's in the game. Which, by the way, I got like actually I don't want to spoil that. I'll talk about that whenever Dondozo gets added, which will be in like 20 days. I imagine Dondozo's next patch. Because like I want to do a video about predicting what Pokemon will be coming into the game. So we might have a stream talking about that, but that probably won't happen until I might do it Friday. Because I have a kind of an early day Friday, so I might do it Friday. Who knows? Also, we're going for far longer than I thought we were going to go. Like, oh my god. Yeah, they're good enough. Yeah, but I'm pretty happy with this list. I like this list. I like this list a lot. Oh yeah, and also you should get ready for seeing way more Hyper Beam Sylveons, because obviously they're already like that's like a meta move they run is a Pixelate Hyper Beam Sylveon, but it just people just want to delete things more often. They don't care if they have to take a turn to chill out. They just want to delete things. It's gonna be happening way more often, man. It's so fucking crazy, man. I remember when people were doing that with Gardevoir. We were like, hey, what if we Pixelate Hyper Beam Gardevoir? It'll start deleting things, which it did. It deleted so many things. But yeah, that's what I got. I don't have anything else to go over. I can go do like dailies, I guess. Like I can go here and do dailies, I guess. What the hell? Where's okay, there it is. Here we go. There goes better. Because I was doing a little bit of ZA. But we won't talk about that. That's for a surprise later. Also, can you hear the game audio? No, because my thing isn't open. That's why. Can I open? Can you connect, please? Can you connect, please? There we go. About time. About time. Did I need to start doing longer streams where I just, like, yap for, like, a while? Oh my god, I feel it in my throat. Which we're gonna just do, like, a couple days. I'm not gonna go super crazy on it. Yeah, there's actually, like, a ton of these to do, which I might do coming up. Alright, peep this, right? We're gonna get like a really goofy... We're gonna get a really goofy title coming up. Oh, wait. I can rock the rampaging. That's kind of funny. I'm taking it. Actually, do we have... I didn't add Tiki-Ton yet, which we do have. Tiki-Tons to add. There we go. Yeah, cool beans. Well, now I don't have anything else. I got nothing else now. I got none. I ain't got none. Well, thank everybody for watching. I think we're just gonna end there because I gotta edit that video now. I gotta edit that video I just wrapped on for like 2 hours for. Probably out in a couple days because it's gonna take me a second to get through low key. Yeah, I got nothing else. Thank you for watching. We're ending right there. Goodbye. Ending right there. Goodbye. 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 Bye. Ending right there. Ending right there. Goodbye. Bye.